regarding this particular Twin Summit. And we're very glad to hear from him in that recorded video. Pero mas maganda kung makita natin at marinig mismo sa bibig ng ating chairman ang imbitasyon na ito. So muli, I'd like to welcome our chairman, Mr. Freddy Marquez. Good morning, Sir Freddy.
Well, magandang umaga po. Am I on? Yeah, okay, I'm on. Magandang umaga po sa iyo, former USEC, Undersecretary of Labor, and now HR Management and Business.
Morning.
HR Management and Business Solution Inc. No? Good morning to the Board of Directors of these two companies, HR Team Asia and HR MBSI. Good morning to you,
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Good morning to you, Anjo, and to Willie. Good morning to all the members of the Movement for Organizational Justice who are here today and those who have been with us during the last 38 digital platform learning series or webinars, as we simply put it, since we started last May 8th of 2020, last year. Mga loyalists dyan ni JBJ. And those who are joining us for the first time today, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Tapos na po ang ating mahabang pahinga since last December. And so we are starting 2021 gaya ng nasabi ni Anjo with a bang. On behalf of HR Management and Business Solution Inc., we are wishing you a Happy New Year. And this wishing is with two big events. The first one, which is today, and the second big event on February 4 and 5 is a two-day summit rolled into one. So makikita nyo, nakuha nyo ba? 21 is our special number, 2 and 1. In fact, sabi nga ni Anjo, what day is it today? It's 1/21/2021. And kaya naman, he will give you some surprises, no? Zeroing in on the special number 21 kasi special number ito. May mga very special prizes tayo mamaya. Magugulat kayo. And finally, ano ang title ng session natin today? It is 21 Problems to Address in the Year 2021. Typical 21 problems. Maririnig natin lahat ito kay Attorney Josephus B. Jimenez. So, since 21 is a very special number for us, huwag stay behind because for the next 24 hours also may i-announce din si Anjo kung ano yung freebies nyo or yung anong benefits nyo for the next 21 hours after today, after our session. Papaliwanag ni Anjo yan. So, on behalf of HR Management Business Solution Inc., hindi na ako magpapatagal pa. Welcome to today's session entitled 21 Labor Problems between labor or employees and employers. So we are here to help you out solve them. Thank you very much. Back to you, Anjo.
Maraming salamat, Sir Freddy. And tulad nga na nabanggit ng aking boss, alam ninyo, may surprise kami para sa inyo. Marami tayong early birds. Attorney JBJ, alam mo, bago ka pa nag-login kanina, no? Marami na tayo mga early birds and we were surprised that as early as 8:25 ba yun, nag-start na tayo mag-Zoom login. We had as much as 21 plus na, no, na mga nagla-login upon trying to log in. And we are glad to provide you all our early birds, the first 21 early birds that we have monitored in the waiting room. And this is a surprise for everyone, that you will get to join the Twin Summit on Organizational Justice and Total Rewards for only 21 pesos. You heard it right. From the anina sa baba ko, 1,488 ang regular fees natin. But for the first 21 early birds natin, we have actually we are providing you with only a 21 peso registration fee. And let me just read the winners of the 21 early birds. We have, this is in alphabetical order. Listen in, and if you are in the list, could you please confirm that in the chat, and or we'll be monitoring you because we have your registration anyway. We have Abigail Lagrimas, We also have Annalisa Diaz, Arian Joyce Cabrillos, Carmencita Andres, Cindy Regalado, Darius Panganiban, Erin Serrano, Emily Villa, Jelay Hilomen, Jean Rose Caveric, Jennifer Hachero, Jenny Diaz, Jonah Tubanza, Joyce Fajardo, Luis Beth Balata, Marivic San Diego, Marnel Llanes, Remedios Ivy Bernardo, Rob Nadonga, Rosemary Dofelis, and Sandra Bundok. All right. So all your 21 names that I have just read out, congratulations. You only get to join our organizational summit for only 21 pesos. That is, if you would actually pay the amount of 21 pesos via GCash, which Christian will be flashing on screen later on. So congratulations. Wag na magpatumpik-tumpik pa. Sabi nga ni Sir Freddy, do not vacillate. Confirm your seat by paying for that seat for only 21 pesos. So congratulations to our 21 early birds. So Attorney JBJ, napakagandang panimulayan para sa ating mga attendees for today. And if you see on our chat room here, we already have 375 attendees. And so, wag kayong mawawala because probably perhaps in the middle of our webinar, we're going to announce another game and another set of mechanics which will also allow you to be able to participate in the upcoming Twin Summit for February 4 and 5. All right? So, thumbs up na kung okay tayo for the early bird surprise. Meron tayong reaction box dyan. So, pag nakita ko ng thumbs up, ibig sabihin, game tayo dyan. So, congratulations once again. And I'll be back before the Q&A for another set of activities. All right? So, with that, without further ado, I bring to you our speaker for today on the 21 labor problems between employers and employees in 2021 and how to solve them. Ladies and gentlemen, Attorney Josephus Jimenez. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and please make me a co-host so that I can bring out my materials. I have prepared many slides, more than 200 slides, and I hope that we have enough time to address all the problems. Thank you, Jojo, and thank you, Chairman. I'm very happy that we are all here today, and I am prepared to answer your questions. But first, I will present the more than 200 slides concerning the 21 problems that we are going to face this year. And not only the problem, but also the solution. We welcome the past president of PMAP, my good friend, Loy Echevarria. We have friends, a lot of friends coming here today. We have Rick Bayaw from Baguio, and we have friends from Mindanao. We even have some participants who are now in California. One is in Florida, and there are two from New York. So can you imagine, we are straight from the oath-taking of President Biden. We are here today to talk about labor problems. And so I welcome all of you. Many of you are my friends. So you have, I have invited you, the chairman invited you, and this is our goodwill offering to start off the new year for our team. And you will see, you join us in the Twin Summit. And for the information of Chairman Freddy Marquez, my 10 articles, my 10 columns starting January 25 will be about the Twin Summit in Cebu. And it is virtual, but it is virtually based in Cebu. In other words, all of the topics for the next columns in the Freeman newspaper in Cebu, which is a satellite publication of the Philippine Star, will carry Total Rewards. This is a marketing support for the Twin Summit coming from myself and my team. And we are writing all this, explaining to our audience the meaning of Total Rewards, the meaning of organizational justice, what are the emerging trends in the global arena, as well as in the ASEAN and in Asia Pacific region. And so today we are going to discuss 21 problems divided into 4 classifications. The first classification are problems related to talent acquisition, problems about employment status, and that would include outsourcing. We have friends like Ma'am Nancy of TopServe who are managing and leading organizations on outsourcing. And we have friends from Falcon, and Bots Guerrero will be one of our speakers in Cebu. And then another group of problems is about compensation and benefits. And the best person in the whole Philippines, to me, the most competent expert on Total Rewards is no other than our Chairman Freddy Marquez. So you are very lucky that if you have questions on Total Rewards, we have a very competent expert who has more than 40 years of experience managing global and regional brands and conglomerates and multinationals, Mr. Freddy Marquez. And of course, my specialization is organizational justice. So there are many problems about recruitment, about retrenchment, and in a pandemic situation, about closure of companies, about work from home, how to manage employee discipline, how to monitor productivity and quality of output. These are all problems that will confront the HR community, the HR professionals, and will help you provide solutions to day-to-day problems. We even have problems on training, on learning and development, on OD, and on career management, and many other related problematic situation. As of today, as of this moment, we are now 394 inside the room. So we are approaching 400. So if you want to have a free video, if you want this activity is videotape. And if you want to have a copy of this, you just subscribe to my YouTube channel by typing Yusek GBJ, and you can get more than 27 videos about the law on labor from hiring to retiring. And these are very valuable inputs into your own decision making that will provide solutions to the problems that you are facing day to day. So I have been connected with San Miguel Corporation, with Petron, with Pepsi Cola, with various universities. I was working for the government for more than 20 years, retiring as undersecretary, and I was working in 3 countries as a labor diplomat, taking care of our OFWs, hundreds of thousands of them in the Middle East, and also in Malaysia and in Taiwan. In the last pandemic, or last year from February to November, I was able to write no less than 10 books on HR and labor law. So to me, the pandemic was a very productive year, maximizing my productivity during the time of crisis. I have prepared many books, and it is now available in the central books. They will deliver to you how to terminate employment legally and with honor and dignity. And if you are a victim of illegal recruitment, I have one client attending now who has been illegally dismissed, an HR professional, and finance and admin. And I am helping her. And in this book, there are many solutions to if you are an HR professional and you have been subjected to illegal dismissal, unfair labor practice, this is the solution to your problem. How to file and handle your case with honor and dignity without corrupting the arbiters and the NLRC. You can get justice by empowering yourself with knowledge, with proper familiarity with the rules and the regulation on security of tenure. And on a long-term basis, if you want to mold the character of your employees, there are 8 secrets for success in leading and managing people. So I have done all this. And the best for me, the best seller now is the HR forms. From hiring to retiring, you don't have to reinvent the HR forms. And these are available very affordable prices. Any memo, any contract, when you enter into a contract with the employee on a fixed-term employment, project employment, outsourcing, service agreement, and in matters of termination of employment, retrenchment, redundancy, and even the computation of overtime, computation of holiday pay, computation of retirement pay, separation pay, back wages, they are all in the Philippine HR Forms 101. If you are an HR professional and you don't have a copy of this, you will have a great disadvantage. You will have to think and spend more time. But if you have this book, you are saved. I have a friend here, Neil, who is a very young businessman, and he got a copy of this book, and it helped him a lot. And he always texted me, thanking me that I wrote this book because this is really a solution looking for the problem. So I will now go directly to our topic for today. And we have to start with admitting, realizing, and being aware that we are in an extraordinary time today. These are not ordinary times. These are a critical time. We have a crisis in health and economic. We have an economic recession, and there will be social conflict because the people will be demanding too much from government, especially in the availability of the vaccine. And if the government is not able to deliver, the people are going to create some tremors and even upheavals in our social milieu. So we, the HR community, should be able to help stabilize the situation in our own organization, how to maintain industrial harmony during the time of crisis like this, how to maintain peace, and how to get the continuing cooperation of our people to save our business and to save the job security of our employees. Because these are the worst of times, but it can be the best of times. To borrow the terms and the phrases from Charles Dickens in the immortal work entitled A Tale of Two Cities. These are the worst of times, but this can be the best of times. This is the time of darkness, but it can also be the time of light. If you have listened to the inaugural speech of President Biden, the second U.S. president out of 46, the second U.S. president who is a Roman Catholic and who is a practicing Christian, going to Mass every Sunday, and a very moral, decent, and honest public official. So you will hear about the need for us to go back to basic. And so the HR community in this country should brace themselves and be able to not only survive, but prevail during these most critical times. No? That's why the government has to approve an anti-terror law, because the government has already projected that the health crisis is creating an economic depression. The economic depression will create social conflict, and social conflict will escalate into a political turmoil. And therefore, the state must maintain peace, must maintain stability, national security, national sovereignty must be protected. And that's why the anti-terror law is being put in place,
Tingin
so
naman
that
po siya.
government will have the power to stabilize the situation. And even the special relationship between the police and UP has been abrogated, so that if there are places in the academe that are being used, no, to destabilize the country, then our policemen and our military can exercise the police power of the state. So as of today, January 21, Mr. Chairman, if you are following this, as of today in the Philippines, we have 505,939 coronavirus in the Philippines. No?
Yeah.
And 10,042 have already died. Globally, the figures are staggering. We have 94,963,847 active cases globally as of yesterday. And death has already exceeded 2 million. 2 million in less than 1 year. No? And so these are very frightening health crises, and the HR community should be able to position themselves to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. So we will now start to realize the COVID crisis has changed all the economic, social, and political realities. This is a very serious crisis. Therefore, it demands from the HR people the best among us, our best competence, our best commitment, our best conscientiousness. And we must be holding hands together, not fighting each other, but synergizing and being together, holding hands in fighting a common enemy. The new normal has replaced all the standard operating procedures, but only the procedures have changed. The substantive law has remained constant. The principles have remained constant. The business owners and people managers must be able to create solutions to the emerging problems brought about by the lingering pandemic, and go on with life, with business, and with jobs. We have to help the economy continue, because the economy provides livelihood, and livelihood provides the means by which our people can survive. And when the people have the means to buy goods, no, then the economy will be more vibrant and it will help create more jobs. More than 14 million Filipinos have lost their jobs, and we have to revive our economy. So in making decisions under the 2021 new normal, it is not just a matter of law. Lawyers are useful, but lawyers do not have the monopoly of the solutions. We need lawyers who have HR orientation. Lawyers must be able to understand, if you have company lawyers who do not support HR, you should change your lawyers. You should look for lawyers who are supportive of HR. We should not allow the lawyers to become the dictators in decision making in the company, because you, the HR people, you know human behavior, and you are also strategic partners in business decision making. So I am a lawyer, but I am also an HR professional, and I'm able to integrate the legal dimension and the human behavioral components in leading and managing people. And that is,
Kasama yung
with, modesty aside, that is a rare commodity. When you find a lawyer with HR orientation or an HR with knowledge of law, then you have find a very good partner in these times of difficulties to address the external threats as well as the internal challenges we face today. We cannot treat people equally. I tell you, we cannot treat people equally now. We have to separate the people who are contributing to the organization and those who are only burdens to our organization. And in times of retrenchment, we will know who will be allowed to who will be allowed to go and who will be retained, because they are the critical few compared to the trivial many who are not contributing to productivity, to quality. But as much as possible, we want to retain people. We want to retain jobs. But if we have to let go because of economic difficulties, you have to distinguish the people who are really the creators of values in your organization. We cannot just abandon our people. Yes, we cannot just abandon them. But if there is need to let go, we must know who are going to be retained. So let us find ways to help people, but they must also help the company. And people are not like tools. That's why we stop calling our people human resources. We are now calling them human capital. Why? Because resources can be used. Resources can be sold, can be alienated, it can be encumbered, it can even be mortgaged if they are resources. But human capital, these are our creators of values that will empower the organization, bring in revenues, bring in businesses. In HRM Business Solution Inc., we have people like Willie and Anjo who are really doing very much, doing their best, contributing, helping us create value and bring in people to our organization. And these are very important people that we have to value. We need to follow all the protocols required by the government. This crisis is not just the problem of government. It is the problem of the people. So this is not the time of certain segment of our society trying to criticize the government, trying to weaken the government. There are people always shouting to bring down the government. How can the government fight the COVID crisis if we will weaken the government? So we have to help the government. We have to, even if there are issues that we do not like, we set that aside. But in a critical time, even the people that we do not like, we have to cooperate because we are facing an enemy that is very formidable. No? So we need information and communication because these are essential for survival. We need unity, harmony, cooperation. This is not the time for strike. This is not the time for rocking the boat. This is not the time for demonstration. This is the time to come together, combine our minds and our hearts to address a common problem. So the only people that are positive can survive, no? Positive, no? Hindi COVID positive, but positive thinking people. Those who are flexible, creative, and resilient. Those who are techno-savvy and is able to embrace the new normal. You know, I am 71 years old. I tell you, most of you are very young. Most of you are in your early 20, 30, or even 40. But I tell you, at the age of 71, I am very active in the Facebook. I have a Viber account. I have a Twitter. I have a lot of followings in the YouTube. I have more than 2,000 followers already in YouTube. And I use the social media as a platform to reach out to more people. And therefore, those of you who are in HR should be able to leverage the technology as a mechanism not just to survive, but to prevail and to reach out to more people. We have to master labor law. We have to master the HR diamond. And the HR diamond, I have given that already, no? The HR diamond. So, you know, during the pandemic, I told you, I wrote and published 10 books. I am a consultant of Philippine Congress writing the labor code. I'm teaching in 3 universities, College of Law. I am writing a daily column, 365 columns in 1 year. Can you imagine paano ko ginawa lahat na yan? I handled 5 cases in the Supreme Court, 18 in the Court of Appeals, 29 in the NLRC, and 42 with the labor arbiter. I am an arbitrator accredited by DOLE and the NCAB. I decided 10 labor cases, and I conducted 102 webinars, local, regional, and global. I service more than 20 clients, corporate and individuals. Can you imagine? And I still am here giving you a free seminar today. How lucky could you get, no, to have to hear from a very old man? I'm older than Chairman Marquez, but I have traveled to more than 100 countries all over the world. I have compared the labor code of the 10 ASEAN countries: Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, and Brunei. Dapat, Anjo, yung makamemorize ng 10 ASEAN countries, bigyan mo rin ng special prize sa Twin Summit, no? 10 country yan. In the order that I presented, hindi yung interchange mo kasi I enumerated the 10 ASEAN country based on the economic development according to the World Economic Forum Global Competitiveness Index, no? I repeat, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, and Brunei. Now, if you can repeat that, I will also give you a special reward. I will give you a free book, no? If you can do that. No? These are the books. Mamili lang kayo ng isang libro. Pag challenge ko kayo during the question and answer portion, kung ma-memorize ninyo yun in the same sequence or order that I memorize. So with this, I will now start with classification of problem. The first classification of problem are problems related to hiring and employment status. This is talent acquisition. If you are engaged in talent acquisition, you will have problems on documentation. Then the second problems are related to managerial and supervisory incompetence. I hope you will forgive me for using this term. There are many people who are promoted to managerial positions, supervisory position. They are very good technically. Technically, they are very good. No, technical job, manufacturing, sales, marketing, finance. They are very good. But what they lack are people intelligence. They do not understand human behavior. They do not understand why people are sick by psychosomatic sickness, not brought about but by a virus or by an amoeba or whatever, but it is brought by a very depressed mind. No, when you have a problem, it will make you sick. No. If you have a very problematic mother-in-law, then you will become sick because of your mother-in-law. So now you report for work and your supervisor do not understand that. The supervisor or managers who are incompetent will tell you, whatever your problem at home, you leave it at home. That manager, I tell you, is incompetent. He does not understand human behavior. You cannot separate the personal problem of an employee from his work problem. If he is unhappy in his family, if he is unhappy in his home, most probably he will bring problems to the workplace. And only those who are experienced enough, people like Rick Bayaw of Davao, like Loy Echevarria, yan ang mga tao nakakaintindi because they have actual experience. They were immersed. Ang pinaka-experience sa lahat is si Freddy Marquez. Yan ang boss natin sa ating team. Because ang dami ng kumpanya dinaanan yan, all kinds of people, alam na niya. Lahat ng industry, Pharma, HMO, kahit sa soft drinks, boss ko yan sa Pepsi Cola. Yan si Freddy Marquez. Kaya pagka-problema related to managerial incompetence, making decision, very impulsive, reckless, capricious, whimsical decision. Saan ka nakakita? Merong isang may-ari na company. Tinawagan lang ng manager na nag-follow up sa kanyang bonus, no, which has been given so many years, no. Tapos verbally abusing the manager to the extent that the manager said that kung ganyan na wala na kayong tiwala sa akin, galit ka sa akin, aalis na lang ako. And then wala naman siyang sinulat na resignation and he was considered resigned when in fact there was no written resignation. So he is filing a case of illegal dismissal because that was an involuntary, that was practically what is called constructive dismissal. So hindi ko pangalanan ang company, hindi ko pangalanan ng tao. I'm just giving you an example that there are managers who become managers because they are the owners of the company. But that does not mean that they are competent in leading and managing people. You become a manager because of ownership, because you are the most senior in the section, so you are promoted. But you do not have an immersion into the realities of how to deal and manage people. You do not have an understanding on the spirit and the soul, the heart of a person. That's why I wrote a book, The 8 Secrets for Success. And book 1 is about legal, but book 2 is about behavioral. You know, if you read the book 2, The 8 Secrets, you will know not just the cultural idiosyncrasies of a Filipino, but also the innate human behavior that is not only unique to Filipino. For instance, if you shout at an employee, even if he is a rank and file, not even a high school graduate, you shout at an employee in front of many people, he will shout back at you. And then you will charge him of insubordination. Sinong nag-provoke? Sinong nag-provoke? Ikaw nag-provoke eh. Hiniya mo yung tao. Kahit gaano kaliit ang tao sa iyong paningin, hiniya mo sa harap ng publiko, sasagutin ka because he has to defend himself against an assault by a superior that is using a superior strength, superior rank, and then the only defense to defend his dignity. Ngayon, pagka sinagot ka, papailan mo ng insubordination, papailan mo ng assault against authority. Sinong nag-provoke? Yan nga sinasabi ko eh. Maaring magaling ka sa legal, pero wala kang alam sa human behavior. Next is problems about wages and benefits. We have problems because during the pandemic, maraming reconfiguration. Ngayon, dapat mag-navigate na tayo sa total rewards. Kasi we have been used to paying salaries and wages based on time. We are not used to paying salaries and wages based on productivity, based on output, based on volume. Kasi tamad tayong maggawa ng criteria paano natin i-measure. Pero pag binasa natin yung Productivity Incentive Law, Republic Act 6727, makikita natin may ginigiyahan tayo how to sit down with our people, whether there's a union or no union. We sit down with our people, paano ba tayo mag-agree on a criteria to evaluate the performance. You don't have to come to the office, you work at home, you deliver your result, then I will pay you according to the measurement that we have agreed. Ayaw natin ng gano'n kasi mabusisi yan, mga tamad tayo eh. So, hirap tayo ngayon kasi may mga kumpanya, dinisisyonan ko kaso sa Laguna, yung bang nagtrabaho na 8 hours, then pinilit pa niya na mag-overtime ng another 8 hours. So, he is compelling a person who was not feeling well, by the way. Sabi, sir, araw-araw na lang ako nag-overtime. Pwede ba ngayon magpahinga ako kasi masama ang katawan ko, no? Or he may be under stress, no? Not physically but emotionally. So, pinilit siya, and because he refused, pinailan siya ng insubordination at sinuspend siya. So, ganito yung mga difficulty dyan. Ito yung knowledge of the law, literal knowledge of the law without understanding human behavior. Yun nga ang problema eh. Lalo na yung mga iba na sagasa. Yung mga sinasabi ko sagasa, graduate ka, summa cum laude ka, Lasal, Ateneo, pagkatapos papasok ka sa isang manufacturing firm, ang mga tao na minamanage mo, mga high school graduate, pagkatapos gagamitan mo ng high-sounding terminology, gagamitan mo ng mga prinsipyo that ipipilit mo yung mga Western model, ipipilit mo yung binasa mo mga libro, mga Western model, ipipilit mo doon sa isip, diwa at puso ng isang Pilipino na isang Asian, isang Pilipino na ang kultura ay iba, pagkatapos mapoprostrate ka. Gagamitin mo ang labor code para ipitin yung tao na nahihirapan. He also wants to work well. Pero ang dami niyang pressure, may personal na siyang problema, may problema pa siya sa supervisor. Do you know that sa mga exit interview, ladies and gentlemen, sa mga exit interview, pag tinanong, why are you resigning from the company? Do you know, if you have been monitoring the trends in Asia, not just in the Philippines, in Asia, ano ang number one reason bakit nagre-resign ang tao? Bakit kayo mga taga-HR ang taas ng inyong mga rate ng yung pagre-resign, no? Mortality rate nyo, mabilis nga ngayon mag-hire, pero mabilis namang umalis. No? Easy come, easy go, parang nagliligawan lang sa Facebook, tapos nagmumotel, tapos kinabukasan nag-away, hiwalay kaagad. So, ganon din sa hiring. Bakit? Kasi ang style ninyo, hindi inyo pinag-aralan yung mixture, yung rank and file at saka yung behavior ng supervisor. Alam mo ba, number one reason talaga why people are leaving the company? They love the company. They love the top HR. They love the top man. But it is the immediate supervisor who is the tyrant. The tyrant in the company is the immediate supervisor. Do you know that? That according to the study of the UP School of Labor and Industrial Relations, that in the Philippines, we have a very strong top management. Graduate yan ng mga Yale, Harvard, Stanford. Grabe yan. Mas magaling pa yan sa pinakamagaling nating iniisip. No? Magaling ang top management natin. Ang rank and file din, magaling na rin. Because ang mga rank and file natin ngayon, kahit hindi yan college graduate, nag-aaral yan, kahit mga domestic helper sa Middle East, magaling sa technology, nagpe-Facebook, nagpa-PowerPoint. Sinong mahina? The weakest link in the organization in the Philippines is the middleman, and it is the first line supervisor. Kaya nga tayo, when we are in training, this year, we have to build the capability of our first line supervisor. Bakit kayo nagpo-promote ng mga supervisor na magaling lang sa technical aspect of the job, pero wala silang training, wala silang coaching, wala silang mentoring on how to manage, how to lead people. Yan sinasabi ko sa inyo. Sasabihin ko na sa inyo, ang experience ko, 12 years ako sa San Miguel Corporation. 5 years ako sa Pepsi Cola. Boss ko si Freddy Marquez. 3 years ako sa Petron. Hindi basta-basta yung mga organisasyon na yan. Pero I learned and I wrote all this learning in my book. So if you're an HR person and you do not have my book, I do not know. Baka galit kayo sa sarili nyo. Galit kayo sa sarili nyo kasi merong taong eksperyensyado, sinulat lahat niyang mga mistake, sinulat yung lahat niyang mga good experiences, and you will learn from them and you refuse the vaccine. Ito na yung vaccine. Ang vaccine ay sinulat ko na sa libro, tapos ayaw niyo magpa-inject. Bahala kayo. So you will keep on repeating the same problem, no? Maraming libro sinulat ng mga tao direct from the academe, from the ivory tower. But they are not wounded and scarred in the battlefield of life. Sino yung wounded and scarred in the battlefield of life? Ito ang kausap nyo. Dati ako nakatira sa squatter area, janitor ako sa university. I rose on my own. I struggled hard to become a lawyer. And I'm not from UP, I'm not from Ateneo, but San Miguel appointed me as director. Ang mga tao ko, taga UP, taga Lasal, taga Ateneo. Because I am the one who knows the answer to the problem. Hindi lang lahat nasa isip, hindi lang lahat nasa diploma. Ang importante, alam mo ang puso, diwa at damdamin ng tao. Because we are not managing bananas. We are managing human resources with feelings, with emotions, with aspiration, with dreams, with families. No? Passionate na ako kahit hindi pa ako kumain ng breakfast. Oh. Problems related to employee discipline. Nako, ang daming problema. Tumatawag sa akin, attorney, wala nang lockdown eh. May sasakyan na ayaw pa rin mag-report. Ano, tanggalin ko na ito. Ayan. Alam mo yung mga ganong sagot. Ang alam lang yan, ang alam lang nila labor code. Hindi nila alam ang human behavior. That is the most important code that you have to understand. Kayong mga bagong HR, mga batang-bata pa kayo. Alam mo ngayon, kinuha ako na naman ng PMAP, Mr. Marquez. Kinuha ako, patuturuin ako ng Certificate of Labor Relations doon sa University of Asia and Pacific. Kuan yan, 9 Saturdays. 9 Saturdays, mag-aral kayo. Isang aspect lang yan. Tungkol lang yan sa labor relations. Mag-aral din kayo. Alam ni President Loy Echevarria yun eh. No, mag-aral din kayo ng total rewards. At huwag kayo mag-aral ng total rewards sa mga bata na walang experience. Doon kayo mag-aral kay Freddy Marquez kasi yan talaga ang pinakadalubhasa. Yung sinasabi ko sa inyo eh. Mag-aaral kayo. Yung nagtuturo sa inyo, competent ba talagang nagtuturo yan? O hindi ako naninira. Madali lang magturo eh. Gumawa ka ng module. Pwede ka nga mangopya, may slide share eh. Punta ka sa internet, mag-slide share. Pero ang importante, ikaw ba, may karapatan ka ba magturo? Do you have the empirical data? Are you wounded and scarred in the battlefield of life to understand the meaning of what you are teaching us? No? Problems. Kaya, paano magturo yung mga iba na magturo sila tungkol sa pamilya? Wala nga silang asawa. No? Magturo sila tungkol sa marriage, sa family. Hindi, wala nga silang asawa. Bawal mag-asawa. And next is problems related to DOLE. Marami tayong problema. Inspection. Yan, numero unong problema yan. Do not think that this is pandemic, walang inspection. Tuloy-tuloy na naman ang inspection. Sabi ni Secretary Bello, and we have to help him and support him because he's a very good Secretary of Labor. Ang sabi ni Secretary Bello, with more reason, mag-inspect tayo ngayon because ang i-inspect natin ngayon hindi na tungkol sa minimum wage. Ang i-inspect natin is health safety. Tingnan natin ang mga health protocols sa mga company. Kaya kung kayo, wala pa kayong policy on the safety, wala pa kayong safety committee, wala pa kayong mga nurses, hindi pa nag-training yung safety officer ninyo, wala pa kayong mga first aider, nako, maproblema kayo. Isyuhan na naman kayo ng notice. So, tapos abogado ang solusyon nyo. Hindi yan abogado ang solusyon diyan. Ang abogado, ang solusyon yan, mag-comply tayo. Hindi yung sa lahat ng panahon labanan natin yung gobyerno. Kasi ang gobyerno, ang maganda yung kanilang tinuturo, pero ang problema lang yung iba nag-aabuso. Yun lang labanan natin. Ito yung sinabi kong HR Diamond. Alam mo naman ninyo, diamonds are forever. Ako lang ang gumawa ng concept of HR Diamond. Kayong mga bagong HR, pag-aralan nyo yan. Saan kayo mag-focus? Talent acquisition, sa recruitment kayo. O doon sa total rewards. Ayaw nila total rewards kasi mabusisi, mahirap yan. At Chairman Marquez, mahirap mag-compute, pagkatapos ang daming issue, daming magreklamo. Lalo na sa organizational justice, nandoon yung employee discipline, nandoon yung grievance handling, nandoon yung handling of cases in court, handling of yung conducting administrative investigation. Pero pagka nag-positive discipline ka, mag-focus ka sa molding of character, mag-focus ka sa counseling, less ka na sa reactive kasi doon ka sa proactive. No, mag-mold ka ng mga tao, magturo ka, mag-alaga ka. Hindi yung lagi ka na lang naninita ng kasalanan, naghahanap ng butas, nag-iisip kung sinong tatanggalin. Ganon ba talaga ang mission ng HR? Yung bang parang natutuwa na pag may tanggal na tao, para sa akin, if I'm going to choose Personnel Manager of the Year. Alam mo, Mr. Chairman, gumawa tayo ng awards. Gumawa tayo ng special award, the best in organizational justice for the year 2021, the best in total rewards for 2021, the best in talent acquisition, the best in learning and development. Yan si Anjo Mines, magaling yan sa learning and development. Gawin natin yung the #1 disciple of Freddy Marquez in learning and development. Gawa tayo ng awards, the HR Diamond Award. Yeah, kita mo na no, Diamond Award. Nakikinig ka sa akin. Gagawa tayo ng award kasi napakaganda na naisip ko na yung mga graduates natin, yung mga na-certify natin at i-evaluate natin, i-track natin yung career nila, then we reinforce, i-encourage natin sila, bigyan natin sila ng recognition na special award on organizational justice. Yan, advocacy, positive reinforcement. Huwag tayo mag-focus sa mga nagkakabali. Mag-focus tayo those who are doing excellent work in talent acquisition, total rewards. 4 na awards lang every year. Then kung sino yung pinakamagaling, i-combine yung 4. No? General practitioner ka, you do all this, and then your average for the of the 4 components, the 4 quadrants of the HR Diamonds, then you will be the outstanding HR professional of the year. Yan, gagawa tayo ng award ng ganun. Ipasponsor natin yan sa mga congressman. Kasi si Congressman Alan Velasco, estudyante ko yan sa UST, sa College of Law. Pasuportahan natin. Gagawa tayo ng batas on awards. Awards sa mga outstanding people leader. Huwag na nating tawaging people manager, people leaders na. Kasi ang manager, when you manage human being, parang minamanipulate mo eh. Kasi the word manage comes from the word manus, which is hand. So kung i-manage mo yung tao, minamanipulate mo siya. You are not inspiring him. Pero pag leading is inspiring, motivating, training him, molding his character. Kaya dapat People Leadership Award, hindi People Management Award. Yan ang dapat gawin natin. Mag-isip tayo yung mga term natin, baguhin natin. Kasi nagkakamali tayo dahil mali yung term natin. Kita mo, ngayon lang tayo mag-umpisa. Sa dami-dami ko nang sabi, ngayon lang tayo. Ano bang unang problema? Yan. Unang problema, under talent acquisition, errors in employment status and in formulating the contracts. Alam nyo, ang original sin talaga, pag nahirapan kayo sa mga tao ninyo, yung onboarding, the way you choose people. Para sa akin, ang pinakamalaking kasalanan sa HR ay doon sa hiring. Why? You are bringing the wrong people to the right job, or you are bringing the right people to the wrong job. Kaya merong mga unhappy people in the organization. They are very good people, but they are assigned in the wrong job. There is no fit between the person and the job. So, doon sa contract, maproblema na naman yan, how to formulate contracts. Kaya gumawa ako ng libro na HR forms para magkaroon ng fit, pata yung mga stipulations, ma-protect yung rights ng employee, ma-protect din ang management prerogative. Like, meron ka bang na-hire na ayaw magpa-transfer from one position to another? Because the onboarding was not very clear. Nung hinire mo siya, sabi mo, sir, ang in-applyan ko lang finance, accounting lang. Ba't nilipat ako sa marketing? Hindi naman ako nag-apply dyan. At hindi ko gusto yung mga tao dyan. He should have been informed from the very beginning that from the legal point of view, it is the right of management to transfer you. From the behavioral point of view, This is good for you because it will expand your perspective. Tataas yung value mo. Pagka nag-hiring, hindi ka lang limited sa finance, pwede ka sa marketing. So you welcome this as an opportunity because the company is expanding your horizon. Ganon ang dapat magpaliwanag. Ang problema ng mga manager, supervisor, sabi, transfer pa. Pag hindi ka mag-transfer, it's subordination ka. Yan mga buang yan. Yan mga tao na hindi nag-iisip. Yung tao, mga batang-bata, idealistic, graduate sa LaSalle, St. Benilde, tapos mag-apply na tuwang-tuwa siya. Tapos pagdating, ba't ganito ang trabaho ko? Hindi ito yung pinag-aralan ko, hindi ito yung tinuro ko. Walang alignment yung education at yung industry. Ngayon, sino ang mag-bridge niyan? Ang mag-bridge niyan ng HR. So, huwag kayong magalit, kayong mga taga-HR, kung may problema kayo. Kasi kayo rin ang gumawa ng problema. Saan kayo gumawa ng problema? Hindi ninyo piniprepare yung isip ng mga bagong empleyado. At nilagay niyo sila sa box, yung box na inflexible, na pati yung decision making ng management ay na-limited. No? Dapat yan, malinaw ang onboarding, malinaw, dapat i-expose mo yan sa iba-ibang mga area. So kung ako naman, positibo akong job applicant, dapat matuwa ako. Sabihin ko, wow, I am given a lot of opportunities. Kung magsawa na ako sa finance, pwede ako sa HR, pwede ako sa marketing, pwede ako sa sales. So, as I transfer to a new unit, I will embrace it as a learning opportunity, not as a mechanism to oppress me, to exploit me. Yung mga taong mga negative ang thinking. Okay, pangalawa, alleged abuses in job contracting. Ito na naman tayo Ma'am Nancy. Kasi yung mga problema natin sa labor-only contracting, ito, na-solve na yung sufficient capitalization. Kasi kung pag-usapan sufficient capitalization, edi panalo na yung top serve kasi ang laki ng building sa Makati. Meron bang agency sa buong Pilipinas may sariling building? At least yung HR Team Asia, merong condominium naman sa Ortigas. Edi talagang pag sufficient capitalization ang pag-usapan, panalo na yung ibang agency. Pero ang pag-usapan, hindi yung capitalization lang Yung tinatawag ng mga inspector na investment in tools, equipment, and machinery. Pero natalo na yan. If you have the sufficient capitalization, hindi na kailangan ng investment in tools. Kasi ang ginamit ng batas ay or you have substantial capital or investment. Sino ba naman ang agency na bibili ng mga makinarya para dadalhin doon sa principal employer? Kahit ba mayaman ka, pareho ni Ma'am Nancy, pareho ka kay Freddy Marquez, mayaman ka, bibili ka ng makina para dadalhin ng mga agency workers sa isang principal employer na hindi ka naman sure kung ma-renew yung contract mo. Walang gagawa ng ganun. Yan ang sinabi ko, walang nag-hire ng elevator boy, bring your own elevator. Walang nag-hire ng driver na bring your own truck. Walang ganun. So, yung mga inspector sa DOLE, pinagsabihan ko na yan Huwag kayong ganun. Magbasa kayo. Alam ba ninyo ang grammar? Ang grammar sinasabing or, hindi and. So, natalo na yan sa kaso ng Sunlight doon sa Laguna. Wala na tayong problema dyan. No? Ang problema natin ngayon ay yung function. Ano-ano ba ang mga function na contractable? Ito, ang mabiblame na naman dito, HR. Bakit? Bakit hindi niyo alam na gagawa kayo ng job description na iba yung job description ng mga regular workers kahit they are working side by side with agency workers? but their jobs are different. Kung pareho lang ang tinatrabaho nila, pareho lang yung makinang hinahandle nila, tapos abutan yan ng isang inspektor, at iisa lang yung nagbibigay ng instruction dahil ang agency walang sariling supervisor. Ang supervisor nila ang tawag coordinator. Kung coordinator yan, hindi yan nagsusupervise. Ang sinabi ng batas, you must have your own supervisor because you must give your own order. You do not receive order from the principal. Because if you do, then you are admitting employer-employer relationship. Natalo na yan sa kaso ng Petron eh. Petron pa naman, galing pa naman ako doon. No? But I was in Petron in the year 1981-82. Hindi pa isinilang si Ma'am Nancy, hindi pa isinilang si Lloyd Echeverria, hindi pa isinilang si Rick Bayaw. Nagtrabaho na ako sa Petron. At ang Petron, ang pangalan dati niyan Petrofil. Ang may-ari niyan PNOC, gobyerno yan. Pati yung Bataan Refining Company sa Limay, pag-aari yan ng Petron. Kasama yan sa minamanage ko, HR. Nasahin ako dyan. Pero kinuha ako ng San Miguel. No? Yun lang ang problema. So, pagdating sa San Miguel, inayos namin yung job contracting na yan. Gumawa kami ng protocol. Ako yung nangunguna ng team na kasama ko yung mga line managers. No? Gumawa kami ng protocol on job contracting. Meron kaming accrediting of agency. I-screen namin yung mga agency kasi hindi yung mga fly-by-night. Yun ang magpapahamak eh. Yung mga fly-by-night na walang capitalization, nangangapital lang, no? Dila lang yung kanilang kapital. So if you are a principal and you are listening to me now, if you have problems on job contracting, unang-una, tanungin nyo, what is the quality of your agency? Ba't hindi nyo kausapin yung HR Team Asia? Kausapin nyo yung Top Serve. Kasi yan, mga professional yan. Marami pa. Hindi lang ganun. Mga PALSCON members. No, paano yung iba? Hindi nga nagpapamembro ng PALSCON. Pag nagpamembro ka ng PALSCON, professional ka at saka may capitalization ka, hindi ka fly-by-night. So pag may-ari kayo ng isang company and you have problems with labor-only contracting, sinong nag-create ng problem na yan? Kayo rin. Bakit hindi kayo namili ng matino na agency? Kung sino-sino na lang yung mga agency kinuha nyo na wala namang alam sa labor law. Yung iba nagbabiolate pa ng minimum wage. Yung iba nagbabiolate pa, hindi pa nagre-remit ng SSS. Lalo na ngayon, nandito tayo sa pandemic. Pagkatapos walang remittance yung PhilHealth. Yan ang problema. Dito tayo sa managerial incompetence. Alam nyo, meron pa ring mga dictatorial management style. Huwag kayong magalit ha. Meron talagang mga may-ari ng company that they just own the company. Okay, I do not fault that. But you have to trust your professional managers. Kung kayo, may-ari kayo at mga disente naman kayong mga tao, you are very ethical management. Okay yan. Now, ang problema, there are owners of the company that do not listen to the professional HR. Sabihin na, I'm the owner of the company. You HR, you have to follow me. It's my way or you go to the highway. In the first place, why did you hire a professional HR? If you do not follow, if you do not honor the advice of your HR, well, in fairness, baka yung HR naman incompetent. Or magaling ka sa technical HR pero hindi ka marunong mag-persuade. Kulang ka sa communication. Kasi ang management, madali naman niyang paliwanagan. Kung ako nga, kaya kong kausapin si Mr. Andres Soriano eh. Noong panahon ng San Miguel, kaya kong kausapin si Mr. Frankie Ismendi. Kasamahan ko pa yun sa Singalong eh. Kailangan ng HR kailangan din ang HR pumosisyon kayo na magiging credible kayo sa top man. Tingnan mo si Freddy Marquez, kahit saan yan, kasama yan sa company chairman, company owner. The owner of the company trust his word because he's competent. Dinemonstrate na yung competence niya, governor ng ACOP yun. Hindi yan basta-bastang tao. So, paano hindi maniwala yung may-ari ng kumpanya kung ganun yung kaliber ng inyong HR? Pero pag HR ka, pakaangka-angka, kung baga sa mga sabi nga ng mga Batanggenyo, pagay-anggay-ang ka lang, pagay-onggay-on. Paano ka paniwalaan ng management? Kaya itong leadership style, ang ibig kong sabihin dito, pag nagbasa kayo ng libro ko, yung The 8 Secrets, you must be able to create a leadership style that will promote productivity. Kung ikaw nag-manage ka, hindi yung sisikat ka lang dahil naninigaw ka or kinakatakutan ka, pero walang productivity. Ang daming mga wastages, ang daming mga violation. Successful ka ba as a business manager? Kailangan ang HR, you should also educate the line managers, the executives. You must have an executive development plan. Hindi yung i-hire kang HR, tagapagawa ka lang ng payroll. Traditional na HR lang tagapag-interview ka ng worker, pagkatapos hindi rin ikaw magdidesisyon. Kahit pagtanggal ng tao, kahit pag-suspend ng tao, wala ka man lang input, hindi ka pinapaniwalaan, maraming mga desisyon ginagawa at your back. So bakit ka pananatili sa posisyon mo, hindi ka ginagalang? No, sinasalahula ka ng mga line managers, huwag kang pumayag. Kailangan itaas mo ang bandera ng HR, hindi sa pakikipaglaban, hindi sa pakikipag-away, kundi by manifesting your excellence and competence in decision making. You have to show them na meron kang ibubuga para igalang ka at igalang ang HR. Maraming tinanong dito kami ni Sir Frede. Kami ni Chairman Frede, laging tinatanong, Sir, paano gawin namin yung top management gumawa ng desisyon? Hindi mo lang dinaan sa amin. Ang sagot dyan, that is a question of credibility on your part. Kasi kung naniniwala ang top management sa iyo, hindi na sila bakit pa sila sasakit ang ulo nila kung nandiyan ka? Baka nakita na hindi ka competent, a level of excellence na mabibitawan ka na. Bakit mina-micromanage ang HR ng top management? Dahil walang credibility. So the first challenge of an HR professional is establish your credibility. Pero huwag kang magyabang. No, let your actions speak for themselves. Huwag yung salita ka ng salita. Kundi kailangang may nakikitang resulta sa mga ginagawa mo. Yan mga ginagawa ni Rick Bayaw. Yan, may kakilala ako dyan sa Pepsi Cola. Ang pangalan si Januarius Padilla. Alam mo si John Padilla, nung nasa San Miguel ako, hinire ko yan 1986. Walk-in yan. Seminar yan magpapari sana yan pero natutukso sa babae. Kaya nag-asawa, pumunta ngayon, nirecommend ng nurse namin sa San Miguel. Nakita ko, napakatalinong bata, passionate, willing to learn. Pati yan si Dong Binghay, si Dr. Dong Binghay. Si Dr. Dong Binghay, kasabay yan ni John Padilla. Ako nag-hire yan. So, ngayon, sumikat na sila. Doktor na sila sa UP. Ito si John Padilla. Sumikat yan. Bakit? Siya lang ang nag-negotiate ng CBA. Alam niya, may computation siya. Alam niya ang cost. Alam mo ang galing ni John Padilla? Pag nag-negotiate sa Pepsi Cola, sabihin niya, pag nanghingi ng 1,000 increase yung mga workers, tanungin niya, alam ba niyo ilang botelya ng Pepsi dapat ibenta natin para matugunan natin yung hiningi yung increase? Kung hindi natin i-increase yung productivity, saan kukuha yung management? At saka kukompute niya yan. ano ang value na pag kayo nanghingi ng increase at hindi niyo tinaasan yung productivity, yung sales, saan kukuha yung kumpanya at saan pupunta? Pati yung job security niyo mai-endanger. Yan ang talent ni John Padilla, and he is very unassuming, very humble person, very spiritual, humorous pa. Yan ang ganda. Ako nire-recommend ko yan si John Padilla kung merong tao na naghahanap ng magaling batang-bata pa. Tawagan niyo ako at ipa-interview ko sa inyo si Januarius Padilla. Kasi ngayon nag-retire na siya sa Pepsi Cola eh. So, sayang naman yon yung mga ganon. Alam mo, Mr. Padilla, kung narinig ka, kausapin mo si Freddy Marquez. Mag-active ka dito sa movement natin sa organizational justice. Bigyan ka namin ng papel para mag-handle ka rin ng mga subject. Kasi magaling ka eh. Magaling yan. Those are yung mga diamonds na nakatago lang na hindi nagagamit. No? When we talk of leadership style. Alam mo, meron talaga mga HR na hindi marunong magplano, hindi marunong mag-organize, hindi marunong mag-lead, hindi rin marunong mag-communicate. Anong alam niyan? No? Or line manager ka, or HR manager ka, kulang ka ng PLOC, planning, leading, organizing, controlling. Mag-aral ka. Merong mga activity, merong mga learning. May mga learning kaya magpamimbro ka sa movement namin kasi marami kang matutunan dito. Kaming mga si Sir Freddy, yung mga aming mga grupo, wala na kaming makuha eh. Kung baga sa araw, pababa na kami kasi we have reached the summit of our career. So, mag-iwan kami ng legacy by teaching the young people. Kaya mag-join kayo sa amin kasi you will learn from us. No? Kami rin, we will learn from you. Because marami kayong alam na hindi rin namin alam. So, maging kuan yun. Ang tawag niyan ay mutual osmosis. Mutual osmosis yan eh. Bakit yung matanda nag-asawa ng bata? Bakit? Tanungin mo yan. Ang edad mo, 72. Pagkatapos mag-asawa ka ng 22. Anong makukuha niyan? Mutual osmosis yan. The young will get the wisdom and the old will get the dynamism. Parang si Juan, alam mo si Carlos Peromulo, the great Carlos Peromulo, nag-asawa siya kay Birthday. Si Birthday, writer yan eh. Writer yan ng Reader's Digest. Tapos na-meet na-impress si Birthday kay Carlos Peromulo kasi maliit na tao, Pilipino, tapos napakagaling magsalita at saka very knowledgeable, with wisdom yung mga sinasabi niya. So na-in-love si Birthday. Na-in-love si Birthday kay Carlos Peromulo. So nagpakasal sila. Niligawan na. Biyudo na si Carlos Peromulo eh. Tapos niligawan niya si Birthday. Anong dasal ni Carlos Peromulo nung first night nila sa kasal? Sabi ni Carlos Peromulo, Lord, please give me strength and wisdom. No? Give me strength and direction. Give me strength and direction. No? Narinig pala ni Birthday, nakinig si Birthday sa dasal ni Romulo on their honeymoon night. Nanghingi siya ng strength and direction. Sabi ni Birthday, nagdasal din si Birthday, Lord, just give him the strength. I will provide the direction. Di ba? So, the old will learn from the young, and the young will provide direction to the old. Di ba? Yung sinasabi ko sa inyo eh. Itong HR is continuing learning. That is the beauty of HR. Hindi na ako nag-focus sa law. Nag-focus ako sa HR. Kasi when you are very effective in HR, wala nang mapupuntang kaso sa law. Yung mga abogado, wala nang kaso yan kasi magaling yung HR eh. Nasusolve yung mga problema, mga grievances. Wala nang i-refer sa legal. Kaya mga legal galit sa akin eh. Bakit? Sinisettle mo na yung kaso, paano pa kami magkakwarta niyan sa kumpanya? Di nakasave ang company. Sabi ko sa San Miguel, Yung budget natin, ibigay natin sa mga big law firms. Million yan. Kalahati lang yan, sir, ibigay mo sa aming grupo. We will train our supervisors and managers. We train our supervisors and managers. They will be able to handle and manage the grievance. Wala na tayong kaso ibibigay. Pag merong hilingin yung mga tao, isettle natin. Imbes na yung 1 million, ibigay natin sa lawyer, kahit lahati man lang dyan or 300,000 bigay natin sa complainant. Di tapos ang kaso. Hindi pa nasita yung kuha natin. Puro tayo away. Tapos na yung panahon sa away. Hindi na panahon sa away ngayon. Panahon ngayon sa settlement, conciliation, mediation, magkakaintindihan tayo. Hindi na uso yung confrontation, adversarial, bawal na, hindi na yan. Yan, kunin nyo yan si Jan Padilla. Yun ang magaling dyan. Walang union na nagagalit. No? Umiiyak na yung union, mali si Jan Padilla eh. Oh, papalitan ka ng mga tao, mga adversarial, mga sagasa na tao. Hindi maganda yan. No? Next, there is no effective communication and problem-solving mechanism in place. Ito, HR, listen to me. When you assume your job, one of the things that you should install and put in place is an effective communication and problem-solving mechanism. The organization, with HR as the advocate, with HR as the change agent, you should have a mission to propagate harmony. Harmony, not just peace, but harmony and productivity with high quality. And that can happen only if you have an effective employee council. You know, meron akong kliyente sa Laguna, nagtayo kami ng employee council kasi gusto silang pasukin ng union. No? Ako naman, hindi ako anti-union. Dati akong unionista eh. Alam mo ba, dati akong unionista, organizer nga ako ng mga union sa Cebu eh. Ako pa nga, kaya ako nabilanggo sa martial law. I was detained kasi organizer ako ng mga demonstrasyon in 1970s eh. Pero hindi ako anti-union. Ang anti ako nung union na nanggugulo. Yun. Nanggugulo ka, gusto mong sirain yung kumpanya para kung ang kumpanya ay magsara na, yung mga empleyado ay magjo-join na sa mga armadong pakikibaka. Kung ikaw, membro ka ng mga union na ang ideolohiya ay sirain ang kumpanya at hanggang mainis yung investor, aalis na, lilipat sa ibang bansa, magsara yung kumpanya, then mawalan ng trabaho yung mga workers, and then the workers will join the armed struggle. Magpupunta na yan sa bundok. So, lalabanan nila ang establishmento. Ginamit lamang ang mga tao para isulong ang ideolohiya na hindi angkop sa katauhan, hindi angkop sa diwa ng Pilipino. Kasi ang Pilipino, kung isulat mo yung salitang Pilipino, pili na lipi na pino ang ugali. Pilipino. Pili na lipi na pino ang ugali. Ang Pilipino, hindi adversarial. Ang Pilipino, magagalit lang yan kung apihin mo. Pero can you imagine, naghintay pa ang Pilipino ng 377 years para mag-rebelde laban sa mga Espanyol. 1521, 1898, nag-declare ng independence. 1898 minus 1521. Oh, ilan yan? 377 years. Ang mga tao, kayong mga Taga-Luzon na chairman, huwag kang magalit sa akin. Ito nakuhaan ko lang ito, na-discovery ko ito. Ang Luzon, naghintay ng 377 years para magrevolusyon. Pero kami sa Cebu, 1521 pa lang, pinatay na namin si Magellan. Immediately, pag may mga api, patayin ka agad. Ganon ang mga Cebuano, ganon ang mga Bisaya. Pero dito, marami tayong process. Dumadaan tayo sa ISO, dumaan tayo sa mga documentation, may Baraswa in Republic, may PAC ng Biak na Bato, may Cry of Balintawak. Marami tayong seremonyas eh. Doon sa amin, sa Cebu, sabihin ng aming lolo si Lapu-Lapu, ano yan? Sino yan? Gusto tayong apihin, gusto tayong sakupin, patayin yan. Patay ka agad. Ganun ang nangyayari sa Cebu. No, pero ngayon, hindi na yan panahon. Ang panahon na ngayon, nasa pandemic tayo. Ang kalaban natin, hindi si Majikan. Ang kalaban natin ay COVID. Kailangan magkakaisa tayo. Huwag tayong mag-away-away. At HR should be the leading agent of change. Ganon yun. Sunod, problems related to wages. Ito na yung area ni Mr. Chairman. No? Ito yung mga problems. May problema sa wage distortion. May problema sa wage deduction. May problema sa non-payment, late ng mga remittances, mali na computation. Madali lang naman ito eh. This problem is the easiest to solve. Kung mali, di ayusin. Bakit may eraser yung lapis? May eraser ang lapis, dapat ang mali mo, i-resend mo at palitan mo ng tama. Kasi HR ka, dapat marunong ka. O, di ba? Nandyan si Mr. Roland Sueco, yan magaling sa Mindanao eh. No? Nakikita ko yung mukha ni Roland Sueco eh. Okay, problems on benefits administration. Alam niyo sa San Miguel, dati sa laki ng San Miguel, merong benefits director, merong compensation director. Ako, employee relations director ako. Tauhan ko yan si Jan Padilla, tauhan ko yan si Dr. Binghay. Si Dong Binghay, training assistant ng PMAP yan. Tapos nagiging speaker ako ng PMAP. Tagapag-erase yan ng blackboard eh. Blackboard pa nung araw eh. Can you imagine, abutan ko blackboard, wala pang whiteboard. Si Dong Binghay, tagapag-erase ng blackboard. Training assistant lang yan. Tapos bumulong sa akin during the break. Sir, taga San Miguel ka pala. Kunin mo ako, sir, Bisaya din ako. Sabi ko, I will get you not because you're a Bisaya. I can see in you potential. Alam mo, ako may gift ako eh. Mr. Chairman, I have a gift na pag nakakita ko ng tao, alam ko. Alam mo yan, nakita ko yan si Anjo Mines sa si Willie Yu. Nakita ko yan. Meron yang mataas ang potential niyan. Alagaan natin yan kasi diamond natin yan. Ba't tayo napunta dyan? Problem solving, benefits administration pa nag-usapan natin. Benefits meaning, simple lang naman yan, 21 benefits. Alam ba ninyo, there are 21 benefits. Memorize niyo lahat yan. Ang iba na, overtime pay, night differential, holiday pay. Iba yung holiday pay sa holiday premium. Kasi ang holiday pay, hindi ka nagtrabaho, binigyan ka ng 100%. Pero pinagtrabaho ka during a regular holiday, binigyan ka ng holiday premium. So iba yung holiday pay sa holiday premium. Pag dumating, kaya dumami yan dahil sa mga benefits ng women eh. Halimbawa, battered women at saka yung OB-GYN, yung Magna Carta na 2 months. Tapos ngayon, maternity leave ngayon, 105. Lahat na yan, pag ikaw nasa HR ka, hindi mo na master yan, bumili ka na lang ng libro. Kasi doon sa libro, nakalagay na lahat, nandoon na yung computation. And when you have a book, you will become learned because everyday babasahin mo yan. Problema ba yan? Benefits administration, huwag na tayo magtagal dyan. Compliance with standards on occupational safety and health. Nako, ito yung bagong Department Order 182. No? Ang kaibigan ni Chairman Marquez, kaibigan ko rin, si Doktora. No? Si Doktora, mahirap i-pronounce yung apelyido niya no? Basta doktora siya ang kuan ngayon, assistant secretary na siya ngayon dati sa Bureau of Working Conditions siya. Ngayon, ang rank niya is Assistant Secretary na. Ano ang pangalan yon, Chairman? Yung kaibigan mo?
Si Dr. Tesco Cueco.
Yan nga, mahirap nga i-pronounce eh. Nahirapan ako mag-pronounce sa pangalan niya. Pero siya ang author ng lahat talagang mga protocols. Kasi doktora siya eh. And kaya ngayon, ang administrasyon ni Secretary Bello is very focused on health, safety, and welfare. Alam naman ninyo, ang labor code ay may 7 books. Ang unang books, recruitment, and mostly OFWs yan. So kayo mga HR, huwag na kayo masyadong mag-aral ng book 1 kasi karamihan nag-aaral yan mga recruitment agency. Sa book 2, mag-aral tayo ng konti kasi nandoon ang TESDA, nandoon ang learnership, apprenticeship. Ang book 3 talaga ang i-focus nyo. Alam nyo ang pinaka-importanting book sa labor code? Book 3, Book 5, and Book 6. Pang-apat yung Book 4. Bakit? Yung Book 3, nandoon lahat ng batas ng benefits. Nandoon ang 21 benefits plus special laws. Katapos, pagdating sa Book 4, nandoon yung SSS, PhilHealth, yung State Insurance Fund, Employees Compensation, nandoon lahat mga protocol. Kayo mga HR, mag-aral kayo ng ganun. No, mag-focus kayo and you must be able to distinguish the most important. And the most important to me is Book 3 at saka Book 6. Bakit? Nandoon yung employee discipline. Nandoon yung serious misconduct, insubordination, fraud, breach of trust, gross and habitual neglect of duty. Tapos nandoon yung retrenchment, redundancy, labor saving device, due process. Nandoon, nako, 10 articles lang yan. Do not be terrorized pag sinabing book. Book talaga yan, attorney. Ibig sabihin isang libro yan. Hindi, 10 articles lang yan. Kasi si President Marcos mahilig sa number 7 kasi. 7. So, ang labor code has 7 books. And that is the only document that is a martial law document na hanggang ngayon, can you imagine, sa talino ng mga HR, sa talino ng mga congressman, gumagamit tayo ng labor code na vintage 1974. Kung saan sa 1974, ang mundo ay ibang-iba pa. Walang computer, walang laptop, walang Google, walang Facebook, walang cellphone, walang ATM machine. Kung sino lang kaya ang nabubuhay pa noong 1974, kaming dalawa ni Chairman, baka si Roland Zoico, hindi pa yan isinilang. 1974. Pati si Loy Echevarria, hindi pa yan isinilang. Bata pa yan eh. So, yan. So, itong Book 4, kailangang i-master nyo yan, yung inisyo ni Secretary Bello na sinulat ni Doktora.
Ano ba lasino?
Kasi problema yan eh. Ito problema. Ito na ha, pandemic na tayo. Pandemic na tayo. Problema tungkol sa pandemic. Una, absenteeism, tardiness, downturn in productivity and discipline. Bakit? Bakit absent? Ito ha. If you know human behavior, meron talagang mga taong na-traumatize. Na-traumatize siya. Bakit? Kapitbahay niya namatay sa COVID. Meron siya mga kaibigan na namatay sa COVID. Tapos titingnan niya yung mga anak niya, mga maliliit pa. Kung namatay siya sa COVID, paano mangyari sa kanyang pamilya? Alam mong Pilipino, napakaganda ang puso. Hindi niya iniisip ang sarili niya. Iniisip niya ang pamilya niya. Pag mamamatay ko, paano kaya ito? No. Hindi niya alam na pag namatay siya, baka matuto din yung naiiwan eh. No? Because God will always find a way. Pero ang concern talaga niya, ang Pilipino, bihira lang ang Pilipino na ang sarili lang ang concern. Yung mga OFW, lahat sila naghihirap para sa pamilya. Pamilya talaga number 1. Pangalawa nga lang Panginoon eh. Binigyan ko ng seminaryo yung mga taga Kuwait, taga Malaysia, taga Taiwan. When I was labor attaché, prioritize ko sila. Ano ba ang what matters most to you. Pag pinapili ko lang sila, 4 lang. Pili kayo sa 4. Anong number 1 nyo? God, family, job, or country. Alam nyo, sa 4 na bansa na inassignan ko, consistent. Number 4 ang country. Huli ang country sa kanila. Tanong mo nyo sa Japan yan. Sa Japanese, pag tanong nyo yung Japanese, number 1 ang country. No? Pero sa Pilipino, number 1 family. Number 2 lang ang God. Sabi ko, bakit? Di ba mga Katoliko kayo? Bakit number 2 yung God? Sabi niya, sir, pag linggo, mag-overtime kami para maipadala sa pamilya, maintindihan na ng God yun. Because God is love. No? Pero pag hindi kami magpadala ng pera, hindi makakaintindi ang pamilya namin. At least ang God, understanding, ang pamilya hindi. So, kailangan magtrabaho kaming trabaho, magkayod kami for the family. Yung God, pangalawa lang siya kasi understanding naman siya. Tingnan mo yung mga thinking ng Pilipino. No, pangatlo lang ang job. Number 1 sa Pilipino, ganun nga, pag binasa niyo yung libro ko, yung book to ng The 8 Secrets, nandoon yung value system ng Pilipino. Ano ba talaga ang importante sa Pilipino? Pamilya. At saka, alam ba ninyo na karamihan ng Pilipino, 2 ang pamilya? Ano yun? Illegal ba yung sinabi mo, attorney? Hindi. Ang kanyang asawa at anak, pamilya niya yan, number 1. Ang nanay niya, tatay niya, kapatid, pamilya din niya yun. Kaya 2 ang pamilya ng Pilipino, huwag ninyong sabihin immoral, kasi ganun talaga ang puso ng Pilipino. Wala sa Amerikano yan. Wala sa ibang bansa. Only the Filipino has the family. Kung kayo nakakaintindi ng ganyan, maintindihan yung absenteeism, maintindihan nyo ang tardiness. Gumawa kayo ng paraan how to address that. Using as an input the value system of a Filipino. I-maximize na natin ang work from home. Kasi ngayon nakikita natin, ang dami pala nating magawa, Mr. Chairman, ang dami nating magawa. Pag nasa bahay lang tayo, hindi tayo matatraffic. Ako nakagawa ng 10 libro eh. Itsa-challenge ko, sino sa inyo nakagawa ng 10 libro during pandemic? Kaya this coming January 25, I will be given an award by the Mega World. Mega World magbibigay ng award sa akin. Bakit? Because of the being the most productive person during the pandemic. Nakita nila yung achievement ko. Sino ba yung magsusulat ka ng column everyday, 365, 1 year? Sino yung nagtutulo sa 3 university, nagsusulat ng 10 libro? Hindi na ako natatraffic. Lahat gawa ko dito sa bahay, computer. Of course, may mga assistant ako, mga anak ko, tumutulong, binabayaran ko rin yun. So, you can maximize productivity. Yung mga absenteeism na yan, may solusyon yan. Pag creative ang HR, creative ang line manager, huwag ninyong laging ang solusyon ay tanggalin, suspensuhin. Nako, yan ang mga solusyon na sa mga taong hindi nag-iisip eh. Yan bang diretso ka agad para bang mag-asawa kayo, you have problem, diretso kayo hiwalay? Hindi. God has given us talent, creativity, so that we can formulate solutions to build, to mend broken relationships. We are appointed to be a healer, not to be a destroyer. Kaya yung HR, huwag kayong tanggal ng tanggal, suspend ng suspend. Samantalang yung tao pwede pang ma-revive, pwede pa yung you use the techniques of mentoring, counseling, no, coaching. Ganun ang gagamitin natin. Hindi yung puro na lang investigation, suspension. Nainis kaya ako, lagi akong tinatawagan. Anong gagawin? No? Ito, may kaibigan nga ako, si Neil. Neil. Ayan si Neil ko yan eh. Batang-bata eh. Ma-attend sa seminar ko. pagkatapos nagtayo ng negosyo. Doon naman ako believe sa kanya. Batang-bata, entrepreneur. Hindi siya nagtatrabaho. Nagtayo siya ng negosyo. Tapos ang daming tanong. So, tatanggalin. Dapat let us revive the career of people. We should not start in our young age to be a destroyer of career. Kayo ba are you happy as an HR because you have dismissed a lot of people? Is that your indicator of success? When you have the opportunity to build the person, to mold the character of a person, instead of destroying career. Ito mo ha. Ito, sickness, disease. May mga tanong. Sir, ano bang liability ng company kung ang empleyado ay namatay dahil sa COVID at napatunayan na dito niya nakuha sa company? Kasi meron kaming isang empleyado na meron palang OFW sa bahay na positive, tapos keeps on reporting without declaring and disclosing. So siya ngayon ang naging carrier. Kasi pwede ikaw na negative ka pero carrier ka pala. Because malakas yung iyong mechanism, yung inyong mga antibodies, malakas. Pero nasa iyo na yung COVID. Tapos ngayon, maitatransmit mo ngayon yan sa mga kasamahan nyo na mahina ang antibodies. So ngayon, ang tanong, yung mga tanong na yan, legal question yan. Ang sagot ko niyan ganito. The company should not be held liable because the company has already deposited the amount to the state insurance fund, to the Employees Compensation Commission. Every month, the company gives 2 contribution. The SSS contribution, which is reserved for retirement, for maternity benefits, for housing loan, lahat ng mga benepisyo sa SSS. But there is another fund na kinocontribute ng employer, and that is the ACC fund. Ang ACC fund, walang counterpart ang empleyado. Anong purpose ng ACC fund? That is reserved in case of disease, death, disability that are arising out of and in connection with the job, the performance of your job. So, ang gagawin niyan is let us help the victim to claim so that he will be given the benefits that the law reserves for him. Pero you should not fault management for that. Kasi sino ba naman ang management na gusto? Management has exercised due diligence to comply with all the protocols. Pero merong talaga mga suwail na hindi nagsasabi ng totoo at yun ang magiging dahilan na mag-propagate. Tingnan nyo yung nangyari yung variant, yung bagong variant, yung tinatawag na UK variant na merong isang Pilipino na pumunta sa Middle East kasama yung girlfriend. Ngayon, na-positive sila. Ngayon, ang dami ng nahawaan. Ang dami ng nahawaan because sila mismo ay hindi rin nila alam. Kasi nung primero ay naging negative sila, hindi pa nagsusurface yung COVID. Very, kasi treacherous itong virus na ito. So, huwag na natin pag-usapan kung sinong liable kasi meron nang sasalo niyan, the Employees Compensation Commission. Paano mo ihahabla mo yung kumpanya? Hindi naman kasalanan ng kumpanya yan na naka-acquire siya. In fact, the company has put up all the protocols. Doon pa lang sa gate. Meron na, babarilin na yung noo mo. Titingnan kung anong temperatura, tapos tatanungin ka. Ito yung tinuro ko sa mga kliyente ko. Magtanong kayo. Unang tanong, do you have symptoms of coughing, running nose, body pains? Answer, no. Do you have a member of your family who is a returning OFW in the last 14 days. No. Tapos, no. Number 3, have you had contact with any person with symptoms in the last 14 days? No. O, number 4, may 4 na tanong eh. Dapat itanong sa gate pa lang eh. Tapos meron kang form. Tapos ang answer dito, ipoprocess ng company nurse or whoever is the safety officer. Kung sino yung pauuwiin na hindi papasukin, kapag mag-answer siya ng yes to any of the question, ano ba yung pang-4 na tanong? Ang pang-4 is, do you feel a reluctance to enter the company premises, or do you know of any information which lead you to be hesitant in reporting because of your fear that you might be infected? Yung mga ganun. So, pagka-answer niya lahat no, pasok yan. Pero pag merong answer niyang yes, ipaprocess yan ng HR or ng safety officer whether to allow this person to report for work for purposes of compliance with government protocols. Okay, dito na tayo sa discipline. 13 pa lang tayo. Unang problema ninyo or natin, bakit marami tayong disciplinary action? Una, the COED or the Code of Employee Discipline is not clear, is not known, or known but not understood. Mababaw ang pagkaintindi ng mga empleyado sa Code of Employee Discipline. Alam nyo, kung ako talagang HR ngayon, yung mga probationary employees, subukan ninyo ito. Subukan nyo yung mga probationary employees, 6 months yan, probationary. Bigyan nyo ng exam. End of first month, end of third month, and end of fifth month. So, tatlo yan. 1, 3, 5. Kailangan pumasa siya 2 out of 3 exams. Ano yung mga exam? Anong component? Isang component dyan is Company Rules and Regulation, Code of Employee Discipline. On the first day that you enter the company, you are given a copy of the Code of Employee Discipline. You have an assignment to study that. Study that. If you cannot understand, you ask questions. Because at the end of your first month, I'll give you an exam. I'll give you an exam and you have to pass the exam. Because if you not pass the exam, you'll be given another chance sa third month. If you still flunk, then you lost your job. You will have no chance to be regularized. You have to be serious. We have to be very precise. At hindi lang Code of Employee Discipline ang ilagay mo sa exam. Bigyan mo na exam tungkol sa operation, tungkol sa protocol, sa health protocol, tungkol sa mga chain of command, sa organizational chart, para talagang ma-immerse yung tao na yan. No? Hindi yung easy come, easy go na gawin na lang regular kasi nakalimutan, hindi na-evaluate na lumampas yung 6 months. Alam mo, pag ako ang manager niyan, tatanggalin ko yung immediate superior. You should not blame the HR. Hindi lahat ang HR mag-monitor. Pero ang HR, tutulong yan. Pero pag immediate superior ka, it's part of your job description to monitor a person who is a probationary employee. Huwag mong ipasa sa lahat sa HR ang mga kapalpakan mo. Ang kapalpakan ng line management, remember, employee discipline is a line function. It's not an HR function. The HR is just the advocate for discipline. He is the gatekeeper on the Code of Employee Discipline. He is the lawgiver. Para siyang si Moses, 10 Commandments yung Code of Employee Discipline. But on a day-to-day basis, sino nakakita sa mga pag-uugali ng iyong mga tauhan? Hindi ang HR. Ikaw line manager. Ngayon, lumampas yung 6 months. hindi mo namalayan, irresponsible ka, tatanggalin kita as immediate superior. You are remiss of your duties. Hindi mo ginagawa ang trabaho mo, pero baka naman in fairness naman sa kanya, baka hindi naman nilinaw naman ng management na trabaho niya yun. Kaya yung position description, isama ninyo yan sa examination. Position description mo, no? In capsule form, you memorize what is in less than 10 words, you describe your job in this company. What is your deliverable? What is your timetable? Who is the user of your output? And what are the inputs that you need to be able to deliver your result? Ganon yun. Ganon ang pagmamanage ng tao. Kailangan malinaw yung input, output, throughput. Anong gagawin mo? May timetable ka. Anong mga quality ng iyong mga output? You will be measured on this. Para malinaw. Kung ako ang tao, matutuwa din ako because sabi niya, at least sir, malinaw. Ako na mismo, alam ko, I am not able to deliver. I was not able. So, ako na mismo, parang awaan niyo sir, tanggalin na niyo ako kasi I was not able to deliver. Ganon yun. Kaya yung iba, kini-question nila yung pagkatanggal sa kanila kasi hindi nila alam na merong standard at below standard sila. Sunod-sunod na evaluation, below standard. Tapos i-insist pa niya kasi ang mga standard hindi quantifiable, hindi time-bound, hindi specific. Trabaho ng HR yan. Ayusin ninyo ang mga standard. No? Kaya kung may problema kayo sa discipline, babalik na naman sa HR yan. Bakit? Nagkulang kayo sa advocacy nyo. Magturo kayo. You spread the good news of salvation. Going around the line, huwag yung nasa ivory tower ka, nasa loob ka lang ng kumpanya. Kailangan pag 8 hours, at least mga 3 hours, umikot ka sa line. Pumunta ka sa ibang department. Makipagchika-chika ka. Hindi yung the same people ang kausap mo sa kantin. Kailangan makipag-usap ka sa ibang mga department para marinig mo ang hinaing ng bayan. Makikita mo ang temperatura. Gaano ba ang mga tao ba ay galit sa management? Kung hindi mo kaya yan, mag-alaga ka ng mga chismosa at mga chismoso. At yan ay ipoprocess mo yung mga informasyon na nagagather mo. Kailangan magagamit mo yan because these are input in decision making. So number 1 pa lang tayo, hindi malinaw ang patakaran. Ang mga tao ay hindi alam pero hindi nagtatanong. They are just assuming. Alam mo yung word na assume? Sulat mo yung word na assume. As you make an us out of you and me. You are just assuming and you do not ask question. You are not helping yourself. You are not helping the company. Paano ka namin matulungan na hindi ka naman nagsasabi na hindi mo alam? Oh, yan ang mga taong problema. Oh. Okay, serious misconduct. Employee misbehavior, insubordination. Maraming mga empleyado nagpe-Facebook while in the workplace. Ano ang sinasabi ng Code of Discipline ninyo? Malabo naman yung Code of Discipline walang specification no? Meron ba kayong specification pinagbawal niyo gumamit ng social media during office hours? Tapos magtanong kayo, sir, hindi ba tayo nagbabiolate ng batas pag kinumpiskate natin yung cellphone? Halimbawa, lahat ng cellphone i-deposit niyo sa inyong mga toolbox, sa mga locker ninyo. Pagka-break, pupuntahan niyo, saka kayo mag-text, tumawag. Pero during work hours, ang sagot ko dyan, it's not illegal. It's not illegal. Anyway, pag merong emergency, merong company phone. Pero may nagtanong nga sa isang exclusive school. Yan ba violation ba ng human rights kung ang mga estudyante ang lahat ng cellphone nila Ang problema lang ngayon, kasi wala naman tayong direct, no, wala naman tayong face-to-face ngayong education. Lahat ng tinuturoan ko university puro digital platform. Pero noong panahon na yun, kinonfiscate yung mga cellphone. Nagfile ng kaso yung magulang, human rights violation daw. Pero alam mo ang decision? The decision is to uphold the freedom of the educational institution to uphold its rules and regulation. Pag nagpa-enroll ka ng anak mo sa isang exclusive school, pumirma ka ng isang commitment to abide by the rules of the institution. Ngayon, one of the rules is that walang dadalhin ng cellphone. Ang problema ngayon, dahil pati yung laptop pwedeng maging cellphone, no? Disable lahat. Ang laptop ng mga bata, i-disable yung digital connection, no? Gagamitin lang ninyo yan for our classroom instruction, but not to do Facebook, TikTok, kung anong gagawin nyo while the class is ongoing. That is a valid exercise of the power of an educational institution in primary, elementary, and high school. Pero hindi sa college. So, because ang mga college of age na yon, no? Pero pag sa workplace, that is within the management prerogative. Pero your company policy should be very clear on that. Insubordination. When you, alam nyo kasi, before you throw the books, before you apply the provision of law, you do behavioral muna tayo. Gumawa muna tayo ng counseling. Gumawa muna tayo ng listening. Why are you doing this? Do you have problem? Can we help you? Yung mga ganun. Hindi yung immediately issue kaagad ng show cause letter, issue kaagad ng suspension. Yun ang mga bukis na sagasa na hindi naintindihan na overall. Do you think that these people will reform because you have suspended him? Hindi yan. Ang ultimate objective natin is ma-reform siya, ma-align yung behavior niya sa company expectation. Pero kung lagi na lang tayong negative ang approach, hindi tayo magsasucceed, no? Bilisan ko na ito kasi mag-question and answer tayo. Nasa 15 pa tayo. Problems related to fraud, dishonesty, breach of trust, and loss of confidence. Well, of course, when it comes to stealing company property, there is no compromise. In the case of St. Luke's Medical Center versus Maria Teresa Sanchez, ito alam ni Chairman Marquez to kasi siya ang Senior VP for HRA. Alam mo, ang isang nurse attempt to bring home certain hospital supplies. Nahuli siya ng security guard. So hindi na-consummate yung stealing. Kasi hindi niya na-bring out eh. Pero the company or the hospital decided to terminate her services. Terminate, ha? First offense yan. Nurse yan. Ngayon, ang kanyang defense, hindi naman ito pag-aari ng hospital eh. Pag-aari ito ng mga mayayaman na nasa private room na ang kanilang supplies ay hindi na ubos. Pag uwi nila, hindi na nila dalhin yun. Ipamigay na nila sa nurses. So ako, tinanggap ko at dadalhin ko. Hindi tinanggap ng Supreme Court yung depensa na yan because if you present that defense, you have the burden to get the statement of that patient to corroborate your defense. Otherwise, all properties inside the company, inside the hospital premises, are presumed to be the property of the company, of the hospital. So kahit kaninong property yan, it does not belong to you. And you bring it out. You bring out a property that does not belong to you, then you are guilty. Not of stealing. Not of stealing, ha? You are not being accused of stealing kasi mahirap patunayan ang stealing. Alam mo, merong intent to gain eh. And the intent to gain is difficult to prove because it is a state of the mind. Alam mo ang charge doon? Willful disobedience to a lawful order. Because there is a standing order that all hospital personnel who bring out materials, supplies, should get the written approval of the duly designated officer. So, when you bring out, you willfully disobey a lawful order given by the management in relation to your work. And that willful disobedience is insubordination. It is paragraph A of Article 297, which used to be Article 292. Matalino talaga yung St. Luke's. Paano ang pinaka-head ay si Chairman Marquez? Bakit? Kung kinasuhan nila yun ng stealing, ma-absuelto yun eh. Ma-reinstate yun eh. Kasi stealing, maraming element yan. Ang kaso sa kanya is willful disobedience, insubordination. So, talagang inapel ng Supreme Court ang desisyon ng management. Maaring nanalo yung nurse doon sa lower level, sa Court of Appeals. Kaya ang petitioner St. Luke's versus Maria Teresa Sanchez because natalo yung management sa Court of Appeals. Naawa yung Court of Appeals sa kanya kasi sabi na siya, matagal na siya serbisyo, tapos maliit lang na cost or value ng property at hindi naman niya nadala talaga. Hindi yun ang issue eh. Ang issue is you are a nurse, matagal ka na, with more reason dapat alam mo ang rules and you do not honor that rules. With more reason na matatanggal ka. At yung length of service, tandaan nyo ha, ladies and gentlemen, ang length of service, you cannot invoke to mitigate the offense pag ang kasalanan mo ay insubordination at saka serious misconduct. Pareho yung nangyari sa kaso ng Cesar Nugget versus San Miguel Corporation. Yan si Cesar Nugget, union leader yan ng San Miguel. Sinuntok niya yung another union leader, si Reggie Regala. Kilala na dyan pa din yan. Pareho silang union leader, nagsuntukan sila. Bakit? Naglalabanan sila ng kapangyarihan sa union. Nagsuntukan doon sa Laguna, sa metal closure. So, within company premises, 15 years in service yan, tinanggal ng management. Pinatawad na ng sinuntok niya, nagpatawaran na sila. The victim has issued a statement that he has forgiven. Pero ang sabi ng Supreme Court, what was forgiven is only the criminal aspect and the civil aspect. But the administrative aspect, which is vested on the company, only the company can waive that. Pero in this case, the company did not waive. And long years in service should not mitigate. It should even aggravate. Kasi matagal ka na, with more reason, alam mo ang rules, ba't ka nanuntok sa loob ng kumpanya? O kahit ba may reason kang manuntok dapat hindi mo gawin yan during working hours and within company premises. So yun ang mga problema natin. Alam nyo, mahaba ito Bawat isa sa 21 problems na pinakita ko sa inyo or ipapakita pa lang yung the rest. Isang araw na seminaryo. Pagkatapos, patikim lang ito. Gross and habitual neglect of duty absenteeism, tardiness, incompetence, productivity issue, a quality issue. Okay. In the first place, when we talk of gross and habitual neglect of duty, kailangan dito ang standard should be very clear. And then, ang mga during the probationary period, dapat na-mold na ang karakter dito. Kung siya ay used to be a very good worker, very devoted, focused, hardworking, and yet during the pandemic, he has become an absentee, then huwag mong tanggalin yan. You have to talk to him heart to heart. Kung hindi personal, through the digital platform, mag-usap kayo dalawa. O tatlo kayo. Yung direct superior niya, nasa tabi niyang HR at siya. Hindi yung confrontational. And the purpose is to listen, not to preach. No, can you tell us what is bugging you? How can we help you? Because you have been very good. You have contributed a lot to the company. We are wondering why. Is there something that bothers you? Is there a way that we can help you? Then we will agree on a PIP, Productivity Improvement Program. Don't worry, we will guide you, we will hold your hands, we will help you. Hindi yung pagka ganun, alam mo, ang napakagaling yung tao na yan ngayon, nagka-problema, tanggalin mo kagad. Yun ang masama. Yun nga, doon talaga ako nagmamangha dyan. Ito, tungkol sa mga cybercrime. Merong mga identity theft. Nagkikreate ng Facebook account using the name of Freddy Marquez, Anjo Mines, yung mga sikat. Meron ng account dito, nakikita ako, laging nagko-comment sa akin eh. Ginagamit pa yung pangalan ni RSA sa San Miguel eh. Si RSA daw siya. Maniwala ba ko si RSA may panahon mag-Facebook? Tapos gagamitin mo yung pangalan niya yan. No? Identity theft, blackmail, meron pang nagma-blackmail kasi meron daw mga video, mga sex video. Grabe na yung mga empleyado, merong iba na ang kanilang sama ng loob sa kumpanya, may manager silang, galit sila, tapos i-comment nila sa Facebook. Alam niyo, may natanggal na dyan ha. Itong kaso ng Cebu Electric Company na isang union president pa naman, union president ha, na nagpublish ng napakasama na mga statement laban sa Abuetes family. Alam mo, the Abuetes family is one of the most respected families in Cebu. Daming mayaman sa Cebu eh. Gokongwe, Cebu yun. Yung Abuetes, yung Luelier, Gaisano, Usmeña, Rama, yun ang mga sikat sa Cebu. Tapos, sisiraan niya, publication ng mga ganun. Tanggal siya. And the dismissal was upheld by the Supreme Court. Pinaglaban pa siya ng Federasyon ng Labor, na very powerful Federation of Labor, na meron pang representative sa Congress. Pero hindi ang Supreme Court, hindi. Alam mo, believe ako sa Supreme Court natin ngayon. For the first time in our history, ang Supreme Court natin magaling. Oo, patunayan ko sa inyo, ang daming desisyon ngayon ng Supreme Court. Natatalo ang management, ninakawan na ang management, natatalo pa. Natalo sa arbiter, natalo sa inilasi, natalo sa Court of Appeal. Pagdating sa Supreme Court, sabi ng Supreme Court, hindi kami papayag na ang empleyado ay will go scot-free. Nagnakaw sa kumpanya, napatunayan. So we have a Supreme Court na balanse. Balanse ang ating Supreme Court. Kaya ang sabi ko sa mga employer, kung kayo natatalo kayo, mag-appeal kayo sa Supreme Court. No? Yung mga internet, mga blackmail, mga cybercrime, nako. Gender sensitivity. Alam nyo, mag-ingat kayo ngayon sa sexual harassment. Merong isang kaso, yung Waterfront Cebu. Yung job applicant lang ito. Hindi pa ito empleyado. Merong isang manager na wala namang kinalaman sa HR, nakikialam na nagsasabi, kaya kitang tulungan makapasok, no? Akong bahala sa iyo, pero ikaw naman bahala sa akin. So, yan ay gumagawa ng malaswa sa loob pa ng elevator. Tanggal siya. Tinanggal siya. In fairness to management, saludo din ako sa mga gatsalyan sa value system ng may-ari ng waterfront. Kahit gaano ka kayaman, gaano ka kagwapo, kasi ang apelido noon, Ledesma. Alam mo, Ledesma, mga asendero yan Tapos tinanggal siya ng waterfront sa Lahog, Cebu. Nanalo ang management, upheld by the Supreme Court. Sexual harassment. The author of Republic Act 78-77, ito yung kaibigan ni Neil, si Senator Joel Lina. Pero meron na tayo ngayong amendment dyan, yung Spaces Act, na kahit mag-comment ka lang, kahit magsalita ka lang ng biro, pwede kang kasuhan. Kaya kayong mga manager, mag-ingat kayo sa salita natin. Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, ang pinoproteksyonan dito ang kababaihan. Doon sa Middle East, kawawa yung mga babae, almost walang rights. No? Pero dito, ang endangered species dito, ang mga lalaki. Ang naaapi sa Pilipinas, ang mga lalaki. Sa ibang bansa, sa Middle East, ang inaapi mga babae. Dito, mga lalaki. Bakit? Ba't ko sinasabing inaapi mga lalaki? Mag-file ka ng paternity leave, hilingan ka pa ng marriage contract. Pero maternity leave, kahit wala kang asawa, manganak ka, 105 days ka, dagdagan pa ng 15 days kung solo parents ka. Pagkatapos, dagdagan pa ng 30 days without pay kung gusto mo pa. Can you imagine? Tapos pwede mo pang ipasa yung 7 days ng iyong maternity leave doon sa lover mo kahit hindi kayo kasal. May lover ka, nag-alaga sa anak mo or umaayuda sa pagpanganak mo. Bigyan mo ng 7 days. Ang hirap na i-administer yan kung you live, you work in different companies. Pero yan ang sabi ng batas. No? Pag ikaw, mag-ingat kayo, mag-hire kayo ng kababayan, tapos nakatrabaho lang ng 6 months, nagkaroon ng yung OB-GYN, no? Ovarectomy, mastectomy, and hysterectomy. 60 days with full pay based on gross compensation. You have to pay, whether he is contractual, whether he is provisionary, fixed term, or project, you have to pay. At hindi ito ibibigay ng SSS, hindi ito i-reimburse ng SSS. Ito ay babayaran ng kumpanya. Yan ang mahirap Tulad ng battered women. Ngayon, pag sinuntok ka ng lover mo o yung husband mo, bakit ang kumpanya magbabayad? Bigyan ka ng leave, tapos ang kumpanya, wala pang limit kung ilang beses ka sasaktan sa isang taon. Kung saktan ka buwan-buwan, tuwing buwan may 10 araw ka, pagkatapos 10 araw, babayaran ng kumpanya. Then when you are absent for 10 days, the company will hire a replacement and will also pay the salary of the replacement. Kung sabay-sabay bugbugin yung mga kababaihan, or hindi pagbubugbog, kahit emotional violence, kahit financial violence. Can you imagine? Ako, I have nothing to do. Ako, gusto ko, okay ang batas na yan. Pero wag mong pabayarin ng employer. Pabayaran mo yun sa SSS o sa PhilHealth. Total, nilulustay lang yung pera sa PhilHealth. Doon mo yung pababayaran. Why do you make the employer? Itong tanong ko sa mga congressman, nag-iisip ba yung mga congressman? Why do you charge the employer the burden of paying for this when they have nothing to do with physical violence at home? Buti kung binugbog yan sa loob ng kumpanya. Binugbog sa bahay niya. Pagkatapos mag-leave. Yan, hindi ko maintindihan. No? Pag mainis ako, kaming dalawa ni Chairman Marquez, kakandidato kami party list. Gawin namin party list yung organizational justice. Then, mag-congressman kami. Babaguhin ko yung batas na yan. Lahat ng batas na yan, babaguhin ko. Pati yung maternity leave, babaguhin ko. Okay lang yun. Pahabain mo yung maternity leave. Sige, okay lang yan. No? Pero huwag naman yung ipapasa mo yung 7 days, tapos dagdagan mo ng 15 pag solo parents. Parang ini-encourage mo pa mag-solo parents ang mga tao eh. No? Ito, bilisan ko na, dole inspection. I have a seminar how to prepare for dole inspection. Meron na ako niyan eh, sa baba mamaya sa question and answer. How do you handle cases in the NLRC? Unang-una, mamili kayo ng abogado na labor lawyer talaga. Kasi ang lawyering is specialized. May mga general practitioner na wala namang connection sa NLRC, hindi siya kilala, hindi niya kilala yung mga komisyoner, mga arbiter. Paano siya makahandle ng kaso? So he must specialize. Parang medicine din yan. Kung ang sakit mo ay cardio, huwag kang kumuha ng OB-GYN. Cardio ang sakit mo eh. Tapos kukuha ka ng OB-GYN. So mararaspahan ka. Di patay ka pa. At least ang mga abogado, pag nagkamali, pwede mong ipadisbar. Pero ang doktor, pag nagkamali, mahirap na kasuhan ng doktor. Walang magti-testify eh. Who will testify against a doctor? Paano mo ikakasuhan ng doktor? Ikaw mismo, pasyente, pinapatulog ka. How can you say, kilala ko yung doktor nag-opera sa akin? Nakatulog ka pinatulog ka Samantala yung mga abogado, buhay na buhay yung kliyente. Pagka nagkamali yung abogado, ang nagkamali yung abogado, mag-appeal. Pero ang doktor, pag nagkamali, patay ka. Yun ang sinasabi ko eh. So, lastly, importante sa atin ngayon sa COVID na mag-cultivate tayo ng link with the DOLE. Alam mo si Chairman Marquez, dahil nga ikop gobernur yan, kilala yan sa DOLE. Ako, galing ako sa DOLE. Yung mga tao doon, ako ang nag-appoint yan, ako ang nag-promote. Paano ako hindi tulungan ng mga yan? Hindi naman ako gumagawa ng masama. Alam naman nilang pagkatao ko na doon ako sa tama. So pag ako mag-handle ng kaso, ito, tama siguro ito kasi si JBG ang gumagawa nito. So kailangan kayo, your job as an HR, you have to pay a courtesy call to the regional director of DOLE. Wherever you are. Wherever you are. Huwag mong sabihin na trabaho ng abogado yan. Hindi, trabaho ng HR yan. Kasi pag ang HR at ang DOLE ay very strong ang link, wala nang mapupunta sa abogado. Kasi yung DOLE pa magsabi doon sa HR, ma'am, ganitong gawin mo ha. Tulungan kita ma'am ha, kasi very cooperative ka sa amin, so tulungan ka namin, bigyan ka namin ng tip. Yung ganon. Alam mo, merong kasabihan ang San Miguel na hanggang ngayon, hindi ko makalimutan. Ano yun? Iba na ang may pinagsamahan. Iba na ang may pinagsamahan. Yan ang sinasabi ko. Many lawyers know the law, but only few lawyers know the judge. So, iba na ang may pinagsamahan. Kailangan sa labor law, kailangan may pinagsamahan ka. At this point in time, Mr. Anjo, kasi alam mo ba na napakahaba pa talaga. Dapat ituloy natin to after the Twin Summit, no? We will we will continue because binuksan lang natin yung in general yung mga problema at yung general na solution. Pero pag gusto talaga yung detalyado, every problem, isang oras natin pag-usapan yan. No? So, ladies and gentlemen, I will now submit myself to cross-examination by 500 HR. Ako, 500 HR cross-examination.
Yeah.
Pero pag compensation, tanungin niyo si Mr. Marquez. No?
Right.
Okay.
Bago
Salamat.
ang lahat, isang masigabong palakpakan para kay Attorney JBJ sa napaka-comprehensive na 21 labor problems. In fact, if I may reread all 21, number 1 is the errors in employment status and in formulating the contracts. Number 2 would be alleged abuses in job contracting, fixed-term project employment, and in other non-permanent engagements. The third labor problem would be questions on leadership style. The fourth labor problem is the questions on management incompetence, the PLOC. The fifth would be there's no authentic organizational justice, discipline, and grievance management. The sixth labor problem is there's no effective communication and problem-solving mechanism in place. The seventh is that the problems are related to wages, salaries, and related issues. The eighth would be problems on benefits administration. Ninth would be problems related to compliance with government standards and regulations of occupational health, safety, and welfare. The 10th would be absenteeism, tardiness, downturn in productivity, and discipline. 11th would be problems in managing performance regarding work from home, etc. Number 12 would be employee sickness, diseases, and disability and deaths. Number 13, unclear, misunderstood, and wrong provisions of the co-ed or the Code of Employee Discipline. Number 14, rampant cases of serious misconduct and employee misbehavior and insubordination. Number 15, fraud, dishonesty, breach of trust, and loss of confidence. Number 16 is the neglect of duty. Number 16 would be gross and habitual neglect of duty, absenteeism, tardiness, incompetence, violations of productivity and quality standards, and abandonment. Number 17 would be crimes and offenses, including cyber libel, identity thefts, blackmails, and internet-related violations. Number 18 would be about offenses related to gender sensitivity, sexual harassment, and gender-based discrimination and bullying. 19 would be DOLE inspections of general labor standards and occupational safety and health. I missed number 20, so my apologies for that one. Attorney, if you could enlighten us on number 20, I missed that one. And number 21, the lack of knowledge of and links with the DOLE bureaucracies and rules, regulations, policies, and issuance. What was number 20 again, Attorney, if you could help us?
Mamaya na kasi question natin sa final exam.
Sige sir, na-miss out ko lang po yan. But anyway, really very thankful that you were able to get all 21 laws. Opo. And before we get into the Q&A, allow me to provide you with one game or one very short game that we could have for you to be able to get very generous discounts for our Twin Summit, Organizational Justice and Total Rewards. We are solutions looking for problems, the new normal. Are you ready? Okay, get ready with your keyboards there because I'm gonna ask you to chat away, okay? Here's the mechanics for our game number 2. First is you must be a registered participant of this Zoom Inc. So you all are. We have 500 attendees right now. You must be present in the Zoom meeting today, and you must be able to put in your full name on the Zoom screen so that we can easily refer to. So mahihirapan kasi kami pag hindi full name ang ginagamit ninyo. And one thing that I'd like you to do now is to type the first 21 attendees to comment on our chat box regarding blank will get to attend the Twin Summit for only 121 pesos. So kung kanina 21 pesos yung mga early birds natin, this time around, you will get to attend the Twin Summit for only 121 pesos. How's that for a very generous discount, right? So here's what we're going to do now. Kanina, si attorney was able to ask people, what are the 10 ASEAN countries who are participating? We've already recorded the 12 winners or the 12 people who have written down those 10 countries. And they are already qualified to get the 121 peso Twin Summit discount. So congratulations to those 12. If I may read the winners of those 12, we have Nancy Basis, okay, Enrico Recio, Vicky Sabino, Jonah May Anoyo, Bing Munsod of Locson, Philippines, Teresita Magalong, Grace Chong, Nico Valencia, Lisel, although Lisel, you need to confirm with us your full name, Sonny Abalo, Rachel Ann, you need to give us your full name, and another Jonah. So if we have two Jonas, let's have the number 12 Jonah. So all these 12 winners, you are already entitled to 121 pesos only registration fee for our Twin Summits. Congratulations. So now, I'm looking for 11 more. 11 more winners to be able to attend the Twin Summit for only 121 pesos. And here's what you have to type on the chat box. Okay. The first 11 attendees to type on the chat box the official theme of our Twin Summit. We are blank, 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 blank. Okay. Type that. The first 11 will get to pay only 121 pesos starting now. All right. Ayan, huh? It's actually behind me. Oh, it's on this side there. It's behind you right now. So you can just simply have to type it. But we will only honor the first 11. Okay?
Ang bilis, ang dami niyan ah.
Oo nga po, nakita ko nga po. There. All right. So Kaloy will start counting the first 11, ha? Only the first 11 because you already have 12 winners. Hindi pala 11. 9 winners pala.
9 lang.
9 lang pala. The first 9 winners. Okay, the first 9 winners lang pala. We'll get to include that to only pay 121 pesos for our Twin Summit. All right?
Laki ng discount ha. How much is the regular rate?
1,488, sir. Plus VAT pa po yun. So that would be a very generous discount. By the way, for the Twin Summit, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsors. We have HR Team Asia. We also have Cebu General Services, WAHL, 40 Solutions, Temps and Staffers, HR Network, Polyserve Philippines Inc., Palscon, Royal Care Marketing, Unistar, FEU NRMF, Man Movers, Life and Health HMP Incorporated, and Getwell Health System. Maraming salamat po sa 14 nating sponsors for our upcoming Twin Summit. All right? So I guess we already have 9 winners, and Kaloy will now validate that, and I will read it later. But in the meantime, attorney, please get ready because I will now bring in Miss Willie Yu, and Willie will be helping us out with our Q&A portion. Miss Willie?
Good morning to all po. So, Happy New Year na rin po sa mga loyalists po ng OGTR, itong event natin. So, may isa pong question po na nakita ko doon. So, kahit na medyo magulo ngayon sa Zoom chat box, may isang question po kasing galing kay Miss Maricor Angulo. The question is, we prepared for the reopening of our office and made sure that we comply with the required safety and health protocols. Can employees still invoke the right to refuse on-site work? So, si Sir Attorney and Sir Freddy can answer the question.
In the first place, Willie, the employee has no right to refuse. The employee cannot invoke a right that does not exist because to do that would constitute a willful disobedience to a lawful order given by superior in relation to work. But again, to be consistent with my answer, do not use legal approach immediately. You start with behavioral. You examine why. Why are people refusing? People need
1780.
That is safe. No? By the way, i-shout out ko lang si Barbie Atienza, isang pinakamasugid nating kasama, very very popular radio man, multimedia, and is official of Bulletin, Manila Bulletin, si Barbie Atienza, past president of PIMAB and a very close friend of Mayor Isko. the next Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines.
Thank you, Sir Attorney. To those who are asking for the GCash account, we will flash it later para meron kayong reference para dun sa GCash account na pwede kayong mag-deposit. So, sir, may nagtatanong po kung how they can avail your books daw po.
I-type lang nila sa Google yung Central Books at merong mag-a-appear doon mga number ng telepono. They can contact and they will deliver. They will make it easy for you. Ipapadala nila yan by Grab or by Speed and it will be sent to you. Very easy lang, Central Books.
Another question, sir, coming from Remedios IB Bernardo. Just want to ask, attorney, is it valid to file a willful disobedience or insubordination to an employee who is unwilling to travel early to finish his task and unwilling to perform extended hours overnight since he did not leave his house early? Employee is in work from home arrangement.
Work from home na nga siya, pagkatapos mag-refuse pa siya, dapat mag-cooperate siya. Pero you talk to him heart to heart and give him a time to follow. But if he persists, then wala ka nang ibang magagawa kundi to apply the provision of the labor code. Because if we always tolerate this kind of behavior, which is a deviation and a willful disobedience, hindi tayo maka-achieve ng goals natin. We just have to be humane when we apply the rules. No? Pero pag talagang ang tao, despite all the favor that you give him, will not cooperate for whatever reason, then we will be compelled to use as a last measure the legal dimension, which is to really invoke that provision of the labor code.
Thank you, sir. Another question coming from Ms. Jenny Diaz. Our company usually send engineers to our customers abroad for machine installation and commissioning. If ever they become positive with COVID virus, what are the obligations of the company?
Ang obligation ng company dyan is to cover them with a short-term HMO while they are there. Okay? So the cost of the premium should be a part of their compensation package, because when you send them abroad, you are exposing them to more hazard. So you must also invest proactively by covering them with a short-term HMO. There are HMO organizations who have products like that, no, to cover health. Pareho nung nag-travel tayo as a tourist, nag-travel ako sa Europe, 23 countries. Merong insurance company na merong short-term na coverage. Kahit anong mangyari sa'yo, madisgrasya ka abroad, meron silang counterpart na doon ka ma-treat sa hospital. Hindi lang COVID yan ha. Kung madisgrasya yan habang nag-i-install sila ng makina, no? Malaking bagay yan. In fact, baka malaman pa ng POAA yan, sasabihin na that should go through the process of recruitment through the POAA. Although temporary lang naman yun, no? Okay.
Another question, sir, before tayo ulit magpa-games. From Ella Mercado, we have a lot of internet issues for our work from home employees. Is it okay to move to productive hours instead of the current clock hours? We have a system that can capture productive hours po.
Yes. Walang problema. That's part of your prerogative.
Okay, sir. Sir Anjo, you can do the third games.
You're giving me the opportunity to give more generous discounts, Willie.
Another one.
So are you guys ready? But before we get into the game number 3, I'd like to acknowledge, of course, the winners of the 9 new participants who were able to provide the theme for our upcoming Twin Summit. The theme is "We are the solutions, looking for problems, new normal." And we have the following 9 winners who would be able to join the Twin Summit for only 121 pesos. Listen to this. We have Ces Lim, Micah Cantos, Kenny Pama, Mutia Arjona, Arian Vasquez, Ira Pongyan, Leynand Macaraeg, Vanessa Angeria, Jansen Albienda, and Jansen Albienda. All those 9 winners are now entitled to avail the summit for only 121 pesos. But you will have to pay using the GCash, which is the number of which is 0917 126 3889. If you could just put your full name when you pay in GCash so that we'll be able to acknowledge you properly. So congratulations once again to our 9 winners, as well as to the 12 winners we had earlier, okay, which I read na kanina pa. Alright? So Willie, ito na ngayon yung game number 3 natin. Okay, so kanina, for the early birds, we gave 21 pesos, early birds. For the recent game that we just concluded, we have 121 pesos. This time around, another generous discount I'll provide them with. You would only need to pay 221 pesos. O medyo tumaas ng konti, 100 pesos na naman. But at least still a very generous 63% discount. 221 pesos to register to the Twin Summit if for the first 21 chat box messages, we'll be able to type the 2 HR diamonds that are covered in the Twin Summit. What are they? It's blank and blank. Okay, very easy, di ba? Just type it. Right? So we're going to look for the first 21. Yeah, the 2 HR diamonds, the 2 HR pillars that will be covered in the Twin Summit. Bakit ba dalawa? All right? So you're only given 3 minutes to do so, and the time starts now. Kaloy and the staff will monitor it. The first 21 will be what is going to be entitled to the 221 peso discount. Maraming salamat po. Willie, back to you.
Talagang giveaway yan na
Oo nga, sir.
Ganda itong ginagawa ni Anjo.
Opo, sir. Thank you.
Kasi yung mga nananalo, magdadala yan ng iba. Yung dadalhin nila, magbabayad ng buo.
Yeah. But you know what? You know, that's really a big discount because actually we're using this as a platform to promote the event on February 4 and 5, which is the Twin Summit. And those are 2 of the pillars that we're talking about, the HR Diamond, the Attorney JJ. No?
That's right.
So
And
I
Sir
think
Freddy, I'm reading some answers pero medyo mali yung mga sagot eh. So it's not total acquisition, but it's OJ and TR. So what's the full term for that one? It's OJ and TR. So Kaloy will not count the mistaken responses, all right?
Nasa likod na ang sagot.
Okay, ito na. Sa likod ko.
Nasa likod
Ito.
na. So,
Ito.
bigay na talaga yung mga answer.
Just type it out.
Yeah,
Alright,
kasi pag sinabi ko yung importansya ng Twin Summit, yun na yung sagot eh. Anyway, sige, sagot. Get the people who will win first and then I'll tell you the important.
Ito pala yun.
All right.
Transitional
Sige,
justice.
Willie, could you continue with our Q&A, please?
Okay,
Thank you.
Sir Attorney, may follow-up question kasi si Jenny Diaz. Attorney, if the engineer decline, can we issue sanction?
Alam nyo, ang sagot dyan, kung malinaw ba ang contract mo when you hired him. Kasi pag ang contract mo when you hired him, it should be very clear na his job includes foreign assignment. Kasi pagka hindi mo nilinaw yan sa kanyang contract, meron siyang right to refuse eh. Kasi ang kanyang inaagrihan is only Philippine assignment. You have changed the parameter of his responsibility by including foreign assignment. Pero kung positibo ang tao na yan, dapat i-welcome pa niya na meron siya opportunity to travel. Pero pag negative siya,
Sige, likot-likot niya.
at sasabihin niya, wala naman yan sa contract natin na ipadala mo ako sa abroad. Dapat it should be a lesson learned to you that your contract should include a specific statement that your duty includes a possible foreign assignment. No? Yun ang another area na i-explore mo.
Okay, another question coming naman po kay Miss Jenny Onya. Is your manager give NTE sa mga employee more than 20 employees? The violation is gross and habitual neglect of duty due to low grade of overall performance evaluation. But they conducted only one evaluation for the whole year. Tama po ba na gross and habitual ang case?
In the case of Susana Lim versus Pepsi Cola, meron ng mga precedent yan that yung hindi pumapasa sa performance appraisal, required niyan 3 appraisal na consecutive na bumagsak siya. Hindi yung 1 o 2 lang. And sa first appraisal na bumabagsak ang isang empleyado, dapat binigyan mo siya ng performance improvement program. Meron siyang deliverable, may timetable siya, and he is provided help in terms of mentoring, coaching, para mag-deliver siya. Despite all the help, hindi pa rin siya nag-deliver. Saka siya makasuhan ng gross and habitual neglect of duty.
Okay po, sir. Sir, ano naman po, coming from a restaurant company, working hours of some of our employees sa restaurant is 9 hours with break time. Should the company refund for a 1 hour incurred in the last 3 years?
Bakit magre-refund sila for the last 3 years? What do you mean by refund? You will get back the money from the employee?
Yun po, refund for 1 hour incurred in the last 3 years. So parang sila po yung magre-refund. Nandyan po ba si Kay Joy, yung nagtanong po? You can
Alam mo
ask.
kasi, yung pagkakamali ng management na nirepeat ng 3 times, kung 1 time lang yan, Willie, it can be said na solusyo indebiti yan sa obligation and contract. It is a payment that he does not deserve. So sa next payroll, it can be recovered. Kung limbawa ikaw, Willie, nagkamali ang bayad sa iyo na overpaid ka, so the company can recover that in the next payroll. Pero pag ni-repeat yan ng 3 beses, no, parang inoferan mo siya ng salary increase na tinanggap niya. So there is already a meeting of the minds, and you cannot withdraw that unilaterally. Hindi na ma-withdraw yan kasi 3 beses mo na ginagawa. Yun ang title niyan sa pelikula, Willie, is Kailan Naging Tama ang Mali. Kailan naging tama ang mali? Pag ang mali ay inulit mo ng 3 beses, nagiging tama na yan. So hindi mo na pwedeng bawiin kasi inulit mo ng 3 beses.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, lipat naman tayo ng konti sa total rewards. May nagtatanong po. Can I ask lang po regards sa total rewards, ano po ang mas magandang reward payment, salary and wages?
Pwede na pasagutin yan.
Yes po.
Chairman.
For output-based productivity-based reward system ngayong pandemic, sir. So ano daw po yung magandang reward payment po? Kasi po yung situation ngayon, sir. Ano po yung mga magagandang pwede nating ibigay sa kanila na strategy?
Well, there is a whole list, no, of rewards that you can think of, no. Hindi mo masasabi ngayon that ito yung specific na dapat gawin, no. We'll have to first of all isolate what are the basic entitlement or ano yan, hindi rewards yan, no. Those are entitlement na nakalagay sa contract. Yun yung babayaran ng employer to the employee. However, when it comes to rewards, inaano nyo, no, i-incentivize mo yung employees. It can range from anything to everything. That should be meaningful, no? It's not something that you can say, meron tayong line up na ito yung dapat gawin, no? It's anything that you can think of that will really be effective para tumaas yung productivity, para tumaas yung sales, and so on. So it's crazy to come up with rewards that will not be effective, no? It's like saying, oh, i-reward ko ang isang tao by giving him a stapler, no? Is that something that will make him incentivized or make him move? So it's something that you as a manager can think of, no? What is something that will really be meaningful to let the employee produce more or come up with more sales. And this is not an entitlement. This is not basic. This is something that you earn for. And ang katumbas kasi nito is based on performance or metrics or output, no? Ito yung mga karagdagan na ginagawa mo para naman gumanda yung business results, no? That's what makes it different from entitlement, which kailangan sinusunod mo lang yung batas, sinusunod mo lang yung what is the minimum wage, what are the benefits that are required by law, and what is the agreement that you and the employer had in your employment contract. That's a given. Dapat sundin yan. Anything above that to spice up or to motivate people is rewards. Like what we're doing right now, no? People went here and then nagkakaroon ng rewards yung mga games na ginawa ni Anjo. I mean, it's really something that one will earn. Kaya lang napakadali yung mga ginawang games ni ano eh. It seems like there are already easily 21 people who will pay 21 pesos, another 21 who will just pay 121, and then another 21 who will pay 221. And wag muna kayong aalis kasi merong announcement pa later si Anjo. For those who will register 21 hours after we end this, meron kayong special package. Hintayin niyo lang, no? So, yan yung mga tinatawag nating rewards, no, for joining us today.
I will accommodate 4 questions pa po. Coming from Mervin, ma'am, question, is it legal that in order for an employee to avail his or her service incentive leave, he or she needs to submit certain documents and BI, annual physical exam, agency's statement was due to ensure that the employee is fit to work?
Okay. The law does not require any documentary condition prior to availment of the service incentive leave. So to impose that requirement is a violation of law.
Maliwanag yun eh. Isa lang ang requirement doon eh. You should be an employee. Oo, no? Pagka employee ka, regardless of status of employment, you are entitled to that 5 days. And then to impose additional condition ay hindi mo magagawa yun. Maliwanag yung law on that.
Okay, another question from Precious Jean Siladan. So regarding overtime, mataas ang demand ng production and daily they need to render overtime. Sometimes even Sundays, they are even required na pumasok. If an employee is scheduled to render overtime or pumasok ng Sunday tapos di sinunod ang instruction or di siya pumasok ng Sunday, tama po bang bigyan siya ng sanction?
Okay. Ganito yan. When a person accepts a job, his commitment is only 8 hours. 8 hours lang. So, ang exception dyan is enumerated in the labor code. One is, pareho ng sinabi niya, there is a demand for high volume. And the company can compel the employee to render overtime. Pero kung the whole year na lang ganito, pareho nung isang company na dinesisyonan ko nung kaso, buong taon na lang, wala nang talagang parang compulsory na yung overtime. Dapat i-review na ng kumpanya niya yung manpower requirement niya. Kasi pag ang tao ay lagi mong pinipilit mag-overtime, yung safety and health niya ay nako-compromise. Because according to the study of ILO, ang physical health ng tao is kaya lang ang 8 hours. Exception lang yung mga overtime. Pero kung lagi na lang kayong nagpapa-overtime, ay ang problema dyan ay legally, the employee may refuse because of health reason. Now, kung sa isang kaso involving an oil company na nakasuhan nila ng insubordination kasi nag-manifest naman yung empleyado na yes, I will render overtime. And then on the day itself, hindi siya nag-appear. So, yon ang reason to discipline. Pero kung unilateral lang palagi na pinipilit ang tao mag-overtime, out of line na yan. At mananagot na kayo sa DOLE dyan kasi ang DOLE merong limitasyon ng number of overtime. Halimbawa, naka 8 hours ka na, ipapa 8 hours ka pa uli. No? In fact, sa mga security agency, issue yan eh. Because usually 12 hours sila eh. 12 hours. Dalawang shifting lang. 12-12. Acceptable yan sa security agency. Pero pagka halimbawa, hindi dumating yung replacement mo, naka 12 ka na, tapos i-compel ka pa to render another 12, hindi na allowed yun. Kasi mag 24 hours ka. You will be you will be subject to very high risk to your health and to your safety.
Okay, sir. Sir, last question. Okay, sir.
Before you go into that kasi it's already 12:01, no? Ang merong gusto ako sanang or meron sanang i-announce si Anjo, but I'd rather announce it na right now, no? Kasi
Yes, sir, please.
12 o'clock ngayon. For the next 21 hours from 12 o'clock now, which we're supposed to end sana this webinar, we will allow anyone who is here right now to register at 50% of the 1,000 special price that we have, no? So that means 500 pesos, but you only have 21 hours. You only have up to 9 a.m. to register and to pay at the price of 500, a very important Twin Summit that we're gonna have on February 4 and 5. How important is it? No? Okay, let me tell you the importance. No? If you will recall, on March 16, 2019, the ECQ was implemented and the business activity completely stand still, no, for around 2 months. Now, after 2 months, the economy started to open and slowly business activities started. But we woke up and we suddenly realized that we are now facing a new world, which we now call new normal. And ano itong new normal? Nakita kaagad natin that the new normal is something like this. Nowadays, hindi kagaya nung dati, nowadays we have work from home. This is unthinkable before this pandemic, no? We also had flexible work arrangement. Unthinkable din ito, but because of the COVID crisis and the new normal, ito na yung naging patakaran natin. We started to open the economy with new things. Totally different. Now we have social distancing practices. Everywhere you go, whether commercial, whether sa kumpanya, meron tayong tinatawag na social distancing policies and so on. Ito na yung new normal. Another one is safety protocols, no? So yung mga dating kaya nalulugi ngayon yung mga makeup companies or yung mga beauty products because nowadays even the most beautiful girls need not makeup kasi paglabas nila they have to wear mask. Nagpapagandahan na lang ng mask at saka nagpapagandahan ng face shields, no? These are the new safety protocols that we live in. The new normal, you have to wear mask and new iba-ibang mga patakaran in the office, PPEs and so on. And then of course, the new normal dictates digitalization, meetings, logistical, cash management. Even napansin nyo, ang bayaran natin ngayon, we now have to easily pay GCash and so on. Iba na yung patakaran, no? And the short and long of it, the company has to be agile. digital, and resilient. Natuto tayo maging high-tech, natuto tayo maging techie people. Madaming hindi techie, nahirapan mag-register dito sa ano natin because they didn't know, they don't know how to operate smartphone and so on. No? So, kailangan matuto tayo. This is the new normal. And maalala nyo, we started out with free webinars. HRMBSI, in fact, came up with 38 webinars. Meron tayong question and answer like what we have right now, no? And every digital learning platform, dun sa Q&A portion, we entertain different kinds of different kind of question. And you know what? Yung mga questions na ito are the questions really that mga tinanong kagaya kanina. But it has been confined in two basic areas of HR. Kaya nga sabi ko, yung sasagot ng dun sa HR Diamond na dalawang area, it is on the area of organizational justice and total rewards. Tingnan mo examples ng mga question na nilalabas. Ayaw pumasok ng isang key employee, takot kasi, no? Pwede ba nating suspindihin? Ito yung mga tanong nun, no? Now, he insists na gusto niya kasi work from home. Can he insist that, no? Ang daming mga questions na gano'n, no? On attendance, on tardiness. Another question, ayaw mag-wear ng mask ang isang empleyado. Pwede ba naming kasuhan, no? Dahil madaming nagre-reklamo na natatakot silang may katabing hindi nakamask, no? Another question that has come up, bagsak yung profits namin ngayon. We cannot afford the regular annual merit increases that we do year after year. Pwede ba naming ihinto ito? Nagre-reklamo yung mga tao pag ihinto, no? I mean, those are questions, no? Another question, magsasara yung kumpanya, no? Bagsak yung negosyo. But after evaluating the situation, na-evaluate namin na pag ni-reduce yung labor cost by as much as 40%, pwede pang mag-operate. Is this an option? Rather than magsara, can we reduce the salaries of employees? No? That way, hindi kailangan magsara or hindi na magsasara yung kumpanya. Can that be implemented? Those are questions, no? Another question na nare-raise, the company and many employees want to impose a COVID testing for all before they are allowed to work. Can the company impose this, no? O ito, may mga bago pang darating na mga question tungkol sa COVID vaccine. May vaccine na. Can we ask the company to add this vaccine as part of our benefits? No? Can we make this mandatory? But what if an employee naman ayaw magpa-vaccine kasi meron siyang takot sa epekto, side effects nito and so on? Can we impose? Is it a violation of the human rights? Pwede ba natin kasuhan kung ayaw? Gusto lahat ng sa workplace na magpa-vaccine lahat pero meron 2 o 3 na ayaw, no? I mean, the short and long of it all is that ang daming mga question na lumabas. And all of these are confined in two basic HR areas. And that is in LR or labor relations, IR or industrial relations, or ER, employee relations, as well as compensation and benefits management. Kaya naman, HR Management and Business Solution Inc. made it a point that the first biggest event that we're gonna have is going to be on February 4, and this is confined, or this is on two areas. Organizational justice, which is now what we call LR, IR, and ER, or labor relations, industrial relations, and employee relations. Ang tawag na natin dito is organizational justice. And then on compensation and benefits, yung rewards management and so on, ang tawag na natin dito is total rewards. And we're gonna have a Twin Summit this coming February 4 and 5. O ito sana ang i-announce ni Anjo, and I might as well announce it na now, no? For those who register, again, re-repeat ko, who register between now, no, 12 o'clock and 9 o'clock a.m., you only have to pay 500 register now and pay 500. You either using the mode of payment na GCash or yung other bank transaction, 500 lang. And this is only offered to all who are here, no? Kaya maswerte kayo. You attended the January 21, 2021 free webinar of Attorney JJ. Bukod tangi kayo that you have the opportunity to be able to get the answers to your problems. As we always say, we are the solutions looking for problems, and at the same time, we are going to get this twin summit going this February 4 and 5. And for you guys who are here, mag-register and magbayad kayo between now and tomorrow 9 o'clock, because after 9 o'clock tomorrow, we go back to the regular rate.
Regular rate. Yep.
400. Magkano, Anjo? Your regular rate?
1488, sir.
1488.
1488.
And then of course there are certain certain privileges to yung mga partners natin na 1,000. No? But only for this purpose, many of these people naman are here, no? So take that opportunity. If you miss it at 9 o'clock tomorrow, pasensyahan na, and then you just have to go back to the old rate. So
Yes, sir.
huwag kayong magpaligoy-ligoy pa. Register now. This is the best opportunity that you can have for the start of the year. Madami.
All right.
Magaganda yung mga topics doon, no? In fact, we have a tripartite session where our USEC, Benjo Benavides, will be there together with the chairman of ECOP, Mr. Ed Lacson, and of course, from the labor sector, the overall national head of FFW, Mr. Sani Matula. And then in the afternoon, late afternoon, we have somebody from the Danish industry from Denmark who will talk about bipartisan, no? The value of having the value of having company management and the employees tackle their solution on their own without necessarily going to the Department of Labor, na ito ang tawag ni Attorney Jimenez dito is the mother-in-law, no? So they will teach us how to settle, or they'll give us best practices on how to settle bipartisan. And we have a special feature dyan. Si Palscon, one of the Palscon office former president, will talk about the value of getting legitimate agencies for our day-to-day operations. That's day one. So day two, total rewards, we have three foreign speakers, no, to talk about yung kagaya ng mga questions na tinanong kanina about rewards and so on. Lahat yan masasagot. And these are an array of foreign speakers coupled with a number of speakers from here, from two multinational companies as well as two local conglomerates who will talk about the best practices, no, that their company did during the height of the pandemic. What were the things that they did for the employee welfare, so that you can also listen to what can be done and what need not be done, and so on and so forth. So maganda itong summit na ito for the price of 1,400 or 1,000. Imagine you will get all of this. You get updated. Yeah. Wag na kayong tumpik-tumpik. Register na now. But for you guys, register before 9 o'clock tomorrow. Avail of the 500 pesos. Inunahan na kita, Anjo, but you can repeat that.
No worries, sir.
Nag-ano lang kasi ako because of the deadline, because of the 12 o'clock, I had to, yun na pag-usapan natin na let's give 21 hours for the people after we end it at 12. But it seems that meron pa mga konting questions, so mag-overtime tayo ng konti. Pero in-announce ko na at 12. No? So 9 o'clock, register and pay. Oh, back to you, Anjo and Willie.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sir Freddy. So nabanggit na ni Sir Freddy lahat ng ating mga mechanics para doon sa 500 peso rate natin. If you will be able to register and pay before 9 o'clock a.m. tomorrow. So you're given 21 hours to really complete your payment and become part of our Twin Summit. And by the way, we'd like to acknowledge once again our sponsors for the Twin Summit. We have HR Team Asia, Cebu General Services, WAHL, 40 Solutions, Temps and Staffers, HR Network, Polyserve Philippines Inc., Palscon, Royal Care Marketing, Unistar, FEU NRMF, Man Mover Specialists, Life and Health HMP Inc., and Getwell Health System. Willie, would you be still willing to provide some more questions for Attorney JBJ?
Okay, sir, for the benefit of time na po, I think yung iba kasi sir pumapasok pa. So, lahat po ng mga questions na hindi po nasagot ni Attorney JBJ, i-email po lahat sa kanya para lang po ma-review rin ni Sir Attorney para po masagot din po kung just in case mga important pa po yung ibang questions. Kasi marami pa po nakikita sir, talagang may kinalaman po sa organizational justice and total rewards po. So yan po is marami pa naman po tayong time for Twin Summit. So mapag-aaralan pa rin po yan kung ano pa po yung mga po pwede po pong i-discuss during po ng Twin Summit po.
At Willie, meron tayong batch 2 ng ating 88 modules, tama ba?
Yes po, meron po tayong sa mga naka-attend po nung ating first batch, meron po tayong gumraduate na 15 candidates na they are the certified na po as OJ associate. So we do have another batch this coming February 11 po after the Twin Summit. Yung 18 modules again, the batch 2 of 88 modules. Para dun sa mga gusto pong mag-avail, they can contact Kaloy. We have Viber, Viber groups and Viber contact numbers para po dun sa mga flyers and poster po. Dun po sa mga interesado pong magkaroon po ng certificate when it comes to OJ, po. And then another one po is the Philippine certification naman po with total rewards naman po. So bukod po to sa A3. So yan po is mailalatag po natin during this 2021 po. So marami pong exciting mga projects po si Attorney JBJ and Sir Freddy with regards to organizational justice and total rewards po. So lahat po kayo, I think marami pa pong matututunan dito po sa mga projects po na ilalatag po sa inyo this 2021 po. Thank you
Oo
po.
naman, I'm sure siguradong punong-puno tayo ng mga magagandang topics on OJ and total rewards. Attorney JBJ, any words?
Willie, can you email to me all the process flow for the 2-day conference?
Yes po.
Para kausapin ko si Vice Mayor Rama, alam niya yung slot niya, alam ko yung slot ko, lahat na yan. Pakipadala lang sa akin, Willie, ha?
Yes po, sir. Yes po, sir.
2 araw process flow.
Yes,
para
po.
sa lahat na nagtatanong, sasagutin ko yan sa email. Para hindi naman sila mabibitin na hindi sila nasagot.
Yes,
yung
po.
hindi ko kayang sagutin, si Willie ang sasagot.
Kayang-kaya ni Willie yan. Alright.
Ipa-forward ko sa inyo, sir.
Willie, marami pang mga tanong sa chat box natin tukol dun sa promo codes, etc. What can you tell them about how to pay and so on?
Okay. We flash the na rin dun sa, I think si Christian meron siyang PowerPoint presentation for that. Pero naglalagay na kami dun sa chat box yung email address na po pwede kayo mag-email ng proof of payments para dun sa mga winners natin sa early bird, para dun sa 121 and dun sa 221 pesos, and then the 500 pesos within 21 hours ay OJTR Twin Summit, tama ba? OJTR Twin Summit 2021 @gmail.com. So, nandiyan naman po, nakalagay naman po.
Oo.
Ayan.
Ayan, ito. So, nasa PowerPoint na ito. Subject.
Ayan, OJTR Summit 2021 @gmail.com. So, dito po kayo magsisend ng yung proof of payment. And then, ang subject heading nyo na lang po is OJTR 2121. Para po,
guys, paki-screenshot mo na lang. Oo.
And then sa GCash number naman po, ito po yung GCash number, account number po ni Sir Freddy, 0917-126-3889. For those hindi
Siguro
pa,
in the GCash app, they just have to indicate their full name plus yung kanilang kung winner sila ng 121, 221, or early bird para ma-monitor
yes
din
po,
natin.
para mas madali po yung pag-reconcile po sa end namin.
Oo, guys, screenshot nyo na to. At saka 500 pesos lang as compared with 1,488 and you have 21 hours to do so. Sir Freddy?
Yeah. Hindi ko na babanggitin kung sino, but there are a number already who have registered and who have paid, no? In fairness to them, no, kasi they registered at the higher rate. Okay, we're announcing now, as long as they pay between now and tomorrow at 9 o'clock, even if they're not here, no, although most of them are here, no, but even if they are not here, please advise them that we are going to return back the difference between what they paid and the 500. Medyo fair naman tayo. No?
Maraming salamat, sir.
After 9 o'clock tomorrow, then we will apply the new rate. So in fairness,
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
instead of returning to them, we will just credit it so that they will avail of the rest of the 88.
Okay, very good. That nice suggestion. So we will credit it to them, and they can register this succeeding, as well as they can bring in for what they have paid another person na magbabayad ng 500. Tama. So we're just being fair. Those who have paid, we were not necessarily returned, but we will credit it to future webinars, as well as mag +1 sila or +2 and pay the difference, no? Kasi kung mag +2, the three of them, so instead of paying 1,500, i-credit natin yung ano. So maliwanag yan, ha? Okay.
Yes, sir. Anything more? I think I'm very excited about all our winners. Congratulations. I'm very excited about the Twin Summit, and I'm sure everyone else would be willing to register even prior to February 4 and 5. So please join us now for the Twin Summit. And once again, thank you very much, Attorney JBJ, Sir Freddy, Willie, and to the rest of our staff at HR Management and Business Solutions. Our sponsors, HR Team Asia, maraming salamat sa suporta din ninyo. At sa lahat po ng 500 plus registrants for today, umabot tayo ng 500, humigit pa tayo sa 500. And to all those who were in YouTube, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Picture.
Willie will provide with our photo, Willie.
Picture tayo mamaya.
Okay. Sige, Willie, could you prepare us for the photo?
Ako, we still have around 300 plus 350 people around. Kakasya ba yan?
Okay, Christian, ready ka sa sa backup. Okay. Okay.
Madami nang nagutok. 500 tayo kanina, 500 plus.
Another one. Another one. Medyo marami po Smile lang po.
Hahanapin yung mga maliliit na pictures na yan.
Okay.
Si Florence Feliciano, nakita ko.
Okay na ka?
Yep.
Okay, sige.
Okay na, Miss Willie?
Huwag kayong mawawala sa sa Twin Summit. We expect you there. Madaming magandang topics doon, and get updated.
Thank you.
Thank you very much po. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat, and see you next time. Enjoy your lunch, everyone.
Bye.
Very much, Mr.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po.
Learn a
Thank you,
lot.
everybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Support
you.
our Twin Summit.
Hi, Rico.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mamaya ako na lang.